Hey everyone, it's Tay from the R Anime Podcast, and boy, my allergies have been killing me these days. I guess spring really is in the air. And you know what that means? That's right, that means today's episode is brought to you by our friends over at HIDIVE, who are bringing to you, not pollen, but another amazing season of airing anime. HIDIVE is an awesome anime streaming service available at hidive.com on Apple devices, Android devices, and heck, even your Xbox. And they've got shows like Ao-chan Can't Study, Why the Hell Are You Here, Teacher, and Senryu Girl airing right now. And some good old classics too, like K-On!, which premiered 10 years ago now. So if you haven't seen it, well, what are you waiting for? And if you have seen it, well, there's no better time than the present for a rewatch. And you can sign up for HIDIVE today with the promo code TAP2019 548-3348. That's TAP2019 548-3348. You get 50% off your first month. That's right, that's $2.49 for an entire month on unlimited HD anime right at your fingertips. So, without further ado, warning, today's episode contains coarse language as well as spoilers. Viewer discretion is advised. Hello everyone, and welcome back to another edition of the R Anime Podcast, and today we are talking about, it's time for change. It's time to spring into action with the Spring 2019 seasonal anime, and this season I think we've got a pretty good mix, a pretty good slate of anime, especially a couple of heavy hitters, a couple of really popular ones as well, and, the rest. And today, we have me, your host, Faith Steele Taylor, and the rest. I mean, actually, no, they're the best.
No, I'll accept being the rest.
No, you're the best. You're, at least in my top 7 teen writers.
Warms my heart to hear that.
That's 17. How you doing, my man?
Pretty good. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. I'm surviving. I'm watching anime, which is nice, I think anytime you can watch anime, it's a good time to be alive.
Yeah, and, true that.
We have the gracious, wonderful Senryu, who I have now met in person and can confirm is a wonderful human being with an amazing couch that can also function as a bed and also has great anime opinions. How you doing, Senryu?
I'm doing well, and I can also confirm that Tay is a real person. He does exist in real life and is exactly the same there as he is on the podcast.
It was really funny. I think like an hour into our meeting, you were like, "Tay, are you gonna stop making puns?" I'm like, "No, this is just the thing I do in real life.
This is who I am."
I'm glad to know that doesn't change when you meet Tay IRL.
Yeah.
And we're not meeting IRL, but we do have a guest online for this podcast. We have Minds. How you doing, my man?
Hello. I got a cat on my lap.
Chilling like a villain.
I know.
Of which there are many in this season's anime. So glad to have you on. How's it feel to be on the podcast and talking about Spring 2019 anime?
Well, I was on the year in review earlier this year. Mm-hmm. So I talked about Spring 2018. So it feels nice to be repping Spring 2019 again. I feel like I need a t-shirt or something to show my support for it.
We got you a punch card. It's actually just spring episodes that you've been on, so 2018, 2019.
Okay.
When's you
Is
get
it
on
a one-punch card?
Oh!
That's a good transition, dude.
Oh, wow.
Holy shit. You're going to have to step it up after that one.
Yeah, actually, I'm just going to have to, man, that was really good.
Has been thrown.
Yeah, I'm just a one-trick man. But instead, we're going to be talking about a one-punch man, and that is the second season of the highly acclaimed, widely sought-after, super popular anime, One Punch Man Season 1, now has a sequel, and it's back to Saitama and all the hijinks that are in the show. And guys, what have you thought of this season so far? There are a little differences between Season 1 and Season 2.
I was going to say, let's just address the elephant in the room right off the bat, which is the change in studio. Mm-hmm. I think it's not too controversial to say that it is definitely a downgrade from Season 1 in terms of production value. Mm-hmm. But yeah. I also think that it has turned out to be not nearly as bad as everybody was freaking out thinking it was going to be.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I can agree with both of those statements. Yeah. I'm actually enjoying it more, surprisingly enough. Partially because I feel like I've avoided the hype this time around, and it's a show that I like, and now I'm just kind of getting to enjoy it on my own without seeing everyone exploding about how every new episode is the next best thing. So, I don't know, I've been having a really fun time with this season.
Yeah, I think for me, it's also something to do with the fact that we're starting off with like an actual story arc, as opposed to the kind of just the first few episodes of One Punch Man were really good, but until it got into like the Sea King arc, by the time we reached that, I was starting to get a little tired of the formula. But starting out with the Garo arc, Garo is a great villain. I'm really enjoying everything to do with him. So I think it's just started on a really strong foot. All of the episodes flow into each other well. Every single episode that's ended, I've always been surprised it was over already and excited for what comes next, which is not something I can say for season 1.
Yep.
17, you touched on a really good point, we could get to it a little later too when we talk about Attack on Titan.
Oh,
but
yeah.
it does feel really different watching the one super popular anime once the hype has mostly died down. Because I remember being on the sub at the height of One Punch Man, which was late 2015, sometime in 2015. I think it was summer or fall of 2015, and like,
was it really 2015?
Yeah. It's been
Jesus
4 years. It's been a long time.
It's so weird thinking like I was in high school when I watched like the first season of One Punch Man. It's different times.
Damn, wait, so you were actually 17 at the time?
Was I? Oh shit, I might have been.
Oh man. We just need to do
17 or 18, yeah.
Oh,
His
wow.
true form revealed.
That's actually why they brought in One Punch Man, just so we can make that a joke today.
Yeah, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's crazy. Yeah, when I was watching One Punch Man, I had just graduated college, and now I'm watching One Punch Man Season 2. I'm about to graduate law school. So it's a lot of things have changed in between. And so 17, you touched upon this. I think also that, like, it's a little different watching the show now that the hype isn't overwhelming the subreddit. I remember you couldn't go, like when you would refresh by new, like every 5 minutes, another post would be about One Punch Man. And like
for sure.
the threads then, like comparative to now, the upvotes aren't much, but comparative to like other threads then, like those threads were always crazy. So like Cinerus Minds, do you guys feel like because the hype isn't as overwhelming as it used to be, that your One Punch Man watching experience has been different at all?
Yeah, because the first season of One Punch Man, I watched maybe the third or fourth season that I really started getting into watching seasonal anime in general. So I was really, really into it. All my friends were watching it. It was pretty much discussed everywhere. I wasn't really that active on Reddit then, but I definitely think that, and I have a lot more anime under my belt than I did back then. I definitely feel like I'm enjoying it in a different way almost.
Right.
I feel like I'm really appreciating the story of it more. While the story's still really good and the comedy of it's really good, I don't really need that eye orgasm animation. But
yeah, I definitely agree with that.
It's actually the
story and comedy are still there for me, and that's mostly the reason I like the first season anyway. So I'll take it. It's not as bad as everyone thinks it is. It's the Anitubers have to make their money by saying how shit it is, so I'll allow it.
Yeah. No, I honestly don't, like, even though it is an animation step down, it doesn't feel like a step down in terms of my enjoyment personally. Like, for me, it is actually, it is an active step up from season 1. Like, not a huge step up, but a little bit of one. Like, I'm enjoying this more.
I think even, like, calling it an animation step down while true is, like, stepping down from one of the best animated, like, TV series that have ever been made to, like, just a pretty well-animated action show.
Right.
Yeah.
It's still, like, above average animation.
And might, like, the analogy might get lost on a couple people, but it's like going from Peyton Manning to Andrew Luck, like, the Colts. Like, you go from, like, one of the greatest quarterbacks of all time to, like, still...
Nobody cares.
We're talking to anime people. I feel like our audience is.
I mean, the casuals also watch.
That's true. The casuals watch One Punch Man.
A lot of football players watch One Punch Man. I remember there was that one guy. Yeah, there was that one guy on the Green Bay Packers who said like his favorite anime are like Naruto, Bleach, and One Punch Man. He goes to like San Diego Comic-Con.
Damn, okay, continue with your analogy, Tay. Apparently this is our audience. This is our niche here, the One Punch Man.
I do always love when those news articles come up that are like, you won't believe what these football players do for fun, and it's like the entire team watches anime together while playing like Settlers of Catan.
Oh yeah, like the I think it's the Packers.
I think
or Packers,
the Colts.
Yeah, and the Patriots. A bunch of members of the New England Patriots actually went to Anime Boston a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, that's right.
Which was pretty cool to see. But yeah, it's like with One Punch Man, it does have that a little bit of DBZ feel to it as well. Just in the sense that like DBZ, like DBZ isn't particularly deep. There's like nice character moments here and there, but you mostly watch it for the action fighting. And while, One Punch Man isn't as good as, or season 2 isn't as good as season 1, where you had the all-star crew that was basically like all Bones people working for Madhouse. Like JC's staff is no slouch when it comes to like the animation fighting department. Like just watch Railgun S. Like Railgun S has some fantastic fight scenes. Regular Railgun does as well. Some moments of Index do. So it's like it's not in like a studio that just formed or like a studio that's about to go bankrupt. Like One Punch Man, it's a lot of fun. I think for me, I know a lot of people. Like when they watch more anime become more snobs, but I feel like actually as I've watched more anime, I've become less of a snob. And like I snobbed One Punch Man season 1 hard when I was watching it because I was a source reader. And I was like, oh, like you guys are like all hyping it up, and you guys haven't even gotten to like the Boros fight, and like you guys don't even know what's going on. So like I was like really counter culture at the time, but now. Like
so you weren't even doing the like, oh, these peasants with their action shows snob. you were source snobbing One Punch Man.
it's a past I don't like to admit to. But yeah, I think now, and I like stopped reading the manga like a year and a half ago, 2 years ago. Now that I'm like watching it again and like getting it refreshed, I'm like, oh, this is fun. It's like an enjoyable thing to watch once a week that I have like no strong feelings towards or against, which I think, is not a bad place for an anime to be, and especially a popular one.
Yeah, exactly. And this is something that I actually also am sourced on this. Like I read a decent chunk like in high school after the show came out. I remember almost nothing, so it's kind of like familiar, and I'm like, oh yeah, I kind of think I remember like enjoying like this whole tournament arc section, but I have no idea what's gonna happen. And it's like, okay, well, and so it's fun to like have those little callbacks and like kind of know what's gonna happen and know that I think I like what's coming, but like I have no real memory of what any of it is, so I'm kind of rediscovering it.
It is really cool in this season getting to see all of the S-class heroes be expanded on.
Yeah, for sure. I love the bat guy. He's one of my favorites.
Gaara's sick.
Yeah,
Gaara.
No, the guy with the bat who's like doing the fight.
Oh, the bat guy. I thought you said the bad guy.
I thought you said the bad guy.
The bat guy. I'm forgetting. Just metal bat. Yeah. No, I love him. He's one of my favorite S classes. Like I love.
King though.
Yeah. No, King is great.
King was good.
King.
I think when I first decided watching the first episode of this season, like, okay, yeah, this is going to be as good as I remember it, was with the King engine.
And Fubuki's still best girl, so I don't care.
I skipped the OVA that was in between seasons. Did you guys watch that?
Oh, I didn't either. I didn't realize
Path
that.
to Hero?
Because that's where Fubuki is introduced, right?
Oh.
I don't know.
Is that true?
There was an OVA that came out in like 2016 with the Blu-rays, but unless you mean something in between.
No, that's what I'm talking about. I just remember there was an OVA that like introduced Fubuki, because when she shows up, I don't believe she ever shows up in season 1, and then she shows up in the first episode of this season and like isn't introduced. It's like they expect you to know who she is.
Yeah.
I don't
know. Like just
but
as
none
someone,
of you guys watched that either?
I also saw the Path to Hero OVA, but that was just like like one of Saitama's first things, and he just like busts like a crime ring and just punches people. Like I don't remember substantially the plot. It was like 3 years ago. Man.
Yeah, I don't. It's all a blur. So if I probably did watch it.
Yeah.
It just all runs into each other. But she's voiced by Saori Hayami, so
yes. Oh, and you always need more Hayami.
I have to stan.
I have to. In this pod, we stand. Sorry.
She's voiced by Hayami, and then her sister is voiced by Aoi Yuki. Right?
Yes. Mm-hmm. So we got
between the two of them, you've got two incredible voice actresses with like weird voices.
Yeah.
And it's a perfect duo.
Is it weird? Like very. How do you say?
Maybe weird voices.
Recognizable. Recognizable. Yeah.
Very unique tones.
Yes. Very unique tones. Very relevant in the Fate universe as well. Which is and Yuki's like great too. Really love all the range she brings to the table. So like One Punch Man's been a lot of fun to watch. This is gonna be a little bit of a off kilter question maybe, but have you guys found that watching Mob Psycho 100, which is also by the same mangaka as One Punch Man, have you felt watching Mob and then now watching One Punch Man like that's affected how you watch it? Like, do you ever like have it in the back of your mind?
I hadn't thought about that, but now that you mention it, I think it definitely has. It's kind of funny to think that both seasons of Mob Psycho came out in between season 1 and season 2 of One Punch. But yeah, I think I tend to just think that like Mob Psycho 100 is just One Punch Man but better. But I think that, how do I want to put this? During the first season, when I watched that like shortly after it came out of One Punch Man, there were some times when the humor felt like a little bit grating. Like it was a little too much humor and not enough other stuff. At times, for the most part, I greatly enjoyed it. But then watching Mob Psycho 100, which I think balances out a much better with like a much stronger like character arc, gave me like a full appreciation for the humor style and how like one likes to construct his jokes. So now seeing it again back in One Punch Man, I'm like accustomed to and fond enough of the whole style to just like roll with it constantly.
No,
yeah,
that
makes sense to me. I guess for me, they're a little bit more separate in my head. The one thing that kind of carries over between the two for me more so than trying to compare them in my head is it almost feels like one has a sort of very specific and kind of like interesting view of the world that goes into all of his work, in terms of like how the way in which his characters seem to like value effort and things like that. And both shows almost kind of play into each other for me in that way. But to me, I see them as more different things, even though I kind of agree with you that I like Mob quite a bit more. But I don't know, like even though they do similar things, there's something about them that just feels very different to me, and I'm not sure quite how to explain it.
I think that the tone in One Punch Man often feels like a lot more mean-spirited than it is in Mob Psycho in terms of how it makes you think that one views the world. But there are definitely overlapping elements like that.
Yeah.
I don't really notice it too much.
Maybe I'm projecting.
No, it's kind of. I think it is cool that that we did Mob finishes airing and then One Punch Man starts right after it. But now that you point it out, I can see that how the character writing. I think like their conversations in Mob and One Punch Man, they sort of flow the same. And same with the action scenes, but
yeah, definitely.
I don't really. It doesn't really affect my enjoyment of one or the other, although I do prefer Mob as well.
Yeah.
But I'm still enjoying One Punch Man, so it's fun.
Like I'm pretty sure this, like for me, this is going to be like a solid 7 out of 10 show, like forever. Like I'm not sure if it's gonna ever go like above or below that, and that's fine. Like a show that's consistent and enjoyable is like a good show to have. So no complaints here.
Yeah, it's inoffensive.
Yeah.
which I think is fine. And like in much of the same way with Mob, like to me, Mob like deals with the like what would be the emotional implication of like being Superman, whereas One Punch Man deals with more the practical implication of being Superman.
Yeah.
Oh, that's an interesting take. I like that.
Like, Mob, it deals with him, like, growing up, and, like, it is a much more emotionally focused show, whereas here it's, like, having to pay groceries, having to, like, even in a superhero-based economy, like, building up a reputation and, people just not believing, like, or, like, that things happen, and yet people like King are, like, super popular, and, like, like, just dealing with, like, the practicalness of it all, but not so much the emotional aspect. Like, they did a little bit in season 1. Just how, like, bored he is, and how, like, Boros was kind of the same way, and that he was just so overpowered, he just became bored with the universe.
Right.
Yeah, and I will say, in terms of just, like, comparing the two shows and why I probably come out liking Mob more, the moments in One Punch Man that really explored kind of, like, what's going through Saitama emotionally tended to be my favorite moments in season 1.
Yeah. So, as much as we do love One Punch Man, I think we should move on to the next show, which I at first was going to throw, and I was thinking of, like, a good transition to be, like, going over to our Type Moon expert, but Kimetsu no Yaiba, despite being from UFO Table, is one of the rare UFO Table properties that's not a Type Moon property. Yet still, Sinris, what are your thoughts on Kimetsu no Yaiba this season?
Well, it's no Fate, but it's pretty good regardless.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah, right at the beginning, the first episode didn't really hook me. I felt like I'm typically not a huge fan of shonen. Like, I can appreciate a good shonen. I was a big fan of, like, Hunter x Hunter. But on average, stuff that comes out of Shonen Jump usually doesn't really do it for me. And it felt like the first episode had a lot of very... I don't know what it was about it, because it's not even like it had a lot of, like, typical shonen tropes or anything. I think it was just, like, the way that the main character comported himself was very, like, generic shonen protagonist at first.
Right.
So he grated on me for a little bit, but then as soon as he started getting into the nitty-gritty of his training, very quickly the tone of the show changed, and it became much more focused on a kind of unique style of how is this main character, whose name is completely escaping me, like, how are his
Kamado
motivations and his growth going to be like different from the stereotypical. And it's done that in a great way, to the point where the most recent episode, which was episode 4 with the final selection, his big fight in that one was like really, really impressive. I'm a big fan of the direction that
impressive
his
storytelling
arc has
wise, or
taken.
impressive, like, animation shot wise?
Impressive storytelling wise.
Because it is done by UFO Table, and, like, I think we can really see just how gorgeous this can look at times.
Yeah. Oh, especially the effect on his, like, water dragon sword move.
It looks
so good.
It's
straight
like
out of Okami or something.
Oh
Yeah.
man,
Like Wind Waker or something.
Oh,
Wind Waker.
It looks straight out of that.
Man, it's crazy. Like, you wonder when UFO Table had the time to do this between, like, the Heaven's Feel movies for Fate.
I mean, they're not paying their taxes, so
That's true. They're evading taxes. But can it really be that bad if we're getting Kimetsu no Yaiba? The answer is yes, but...
But yeah,
Mine's
no,
what
I'm
you
enjoying Yaiba too. It's been fun. I'm not sure if there's, like, a ton to say about it yet, although it's interesting you bring up Hunter x Hunter, Senris, because there's something about the beginning of Yaiba that actually strikes me as very similar to, like, how Hunter x Hunter was introduced. I don't know, just, like, a lot of parallels with, like, the training arc and stuff like that, except it seems to be going darker faster.
Right.
Also, I'm just going to say real quick, you guys keep calling it Yaiba, which just, like, throws me off, because there's that, when I was a kid, there was a really popular anime and manga called Yaiba in Japan. That was done by the same mangaka who did Detective Conan.
Huh.
But yeah, it's just like it keeps throwing me for a loop because as a kid I would just watch the show and like the OP would be like Yaiba, and then like every time you guys say that now, like I keep thinking that.
What does Yaiba mean? I actually have no idea what the English title of this show is.
Demon Slayer is the English title, I believe.
Oh, that yeah.
Yeah, so Yaiba I think means demon, and Kimetsu means like slayer.
Yeah.
So Demon Slayer, Kimetsu no Yaiba. But yeah,
Makes sense.
so yeah, but yeah, Yaiba itself was also very much a shonen, very famous shonen as well. I think it might have been a Shonen Jump or something similar. But yeah, it is interesting to see a Shonen Jump property animated by UFO Table, because the most recent ones we've gotten haven't been like, except Promised Neverland. I usually associate like Shonen Jump properties like Naruto, Bleach, One Piece, Shokugeki, shows that just aren't going to have that much animation built into it, Black Clover.
Mm-hmm.
But I guess with Promised Neverland, Boku no Hero, and now Kimetsu no Yaiba, they're seeing the value in going all out for an anime adaptation of a Shonen Jump property.
Yeah, they're no longer treating them like, oh, it's already popular, so it's a sure thing, so we don't need to put effort into it.
Yeah, and that's kind of the striking thing about Yaiba in general for me. Like, there's not much in the show so far that feels super unique, I guess, but everything from, like, story to music to animation to just, like, designs in general has just been really, really solid, so...
Oh, yeah, the music's been fantastic.
Yeah, right? The soundtrack is so good. But yeah, it's one of those things where it's like... there's nothing that I feel like I can point to and say, this is what this show does that no other show is doing. I can just point to it and say, yeah, it's just doing everything really, really well, which is, you know, good in and of itself, so...
Right. The music is... it's by Yuki Kaijura as well.
Yeah, and another composer, though, right? There's...
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, people were telling me that, like, there was one track that I was really liking, and they were like, no, it sounds like the other composer and not Kajura. I'm forgetting who it is. Let me actually...
I just know, like... Kaijura's there because, you know, it's produced by Aniplex, so gotta get that Sony money, which is why we also have Lisa for both the OP and I think featured on the ED as well.
That's what I was gonna say. At the very least, this show blessed us with 2 Lisa songs.
Oh, dab on them. I love it.
I don't care how it turns out. I'm loving it too, but at the very least, we're getting Lisa songs.
Right.
Is the ED Lisa?
So the other composer is Sheena Go, who has been who did the music for
Oh man! Does that make Kimetsu no Yaiba the of 2019?
Wait, this is actually the holy shit! It is the drying pan. Oh, they also did the speaking of Type Moon properties, they did the Emiya-san, the Cooking with Emiya Family anime soundtrack. So Sinris, this was a Type Moon.
Yeah, well, I mean, it also has Kajura, who of course did Phase Zero and stuff. So yeah, this is just a Type Moon show, and also the of Spring 2019.
I asked about the ED because, like, you know, as soon as the episode ends, the first note of the ED is that, like, warbly electronic noise that is just like every other sound in the Kara no Kyokai soundtrack.
Oh, yeah. Oh, man. This is the
food review
of Type Moon.
The greatest anime of all time.
Yo, move over, Kara no Kyokai. We got Kimetsu no Yaiba here.
But no, seriously, it's a good show.
Yeah, I am excited to see how it goes, especially because it's 26 episodes as well. So we're getting like, I think, a straight 2-core of this.
Cool.
Isn't that the first straight 2-core UFO table is done though? Has everything else been split?
UFO table, because both Fates were split core.
Split core.
Yeah. God Eater was 1 core. Tails was split core.
Yeah, Tails was split.
Tails was split core. So UFO table hasn't done a. They haven't done a straight 2. Yo, so if this ends up being a straight 2 core, what I had to wait freaking forever between UBW Core 1 and Core 2. I had time to read the entire Fate Stay Night visual novel in between Core 1 and Core 2.
And that's like a 60-hour visual novel.
So, well, you know what isn't a 60-hour visual novel? It is all the isekai anime that we've gotten over the last couple of years. Although
That was a stretch.
it was a stretch. Maybe I could have been like, but at least, we have gotten like 60 volumes of these light novels, especially with these 4 in particular that make up, not Voltron, but Isekai Quartet.
Oh man, I'd rather watch Voltron than Isekai Quartet.
Right? I feel like a joke that's a stretch is the perfect introduction to Isekai Quartet, actually.
Wait, that was my plan all along.
I'll believe it.
Thank you, 17, for pointing out my joke. When the person who makes the joke explains it, it's not as funny.
Yeah, of
So I
course.
needed someone
You
else
just
to-
needed me there to
Right.
to finish the setup that you gave me. It was all planned out.
Exactly. Just like how Isekai Quartet, it's like the idea might sound good, but then, you need something else to really make it funny, and we're still waiting on it.
Yeah, well, okay. Let's not be entirely unfair here. I was going to say, Tay, I think that you would fit in pretty well as like a Konosuba character.
I was like, where is this going? Because I know where you live now.
Tay, I think you would fit in well as a Konosuba character because your entire existence is just one joke over and over again.
That's true.
God.
I think that's true. Also, if I was a Konosuba character, I'd be able to hang out with Ria Takahashi, who voices
Yeah.
Megumin. Also, can I just say, I will give this a 1 if this doesn't have a conversation between Emilia and Megumin by the end.
Yeah, I can't believe that hasn't happened yet.
Yeah, I keep
And
watching.
so that's,
Yeah.
that's the thing, right?
They have-
You hear
none of
the
them have really
idea
talked.
of Isekai Quartet, and you're like,
The last episode.
this is so many comedy opportunities right here.
Right.
Like, having these characters, bounce off each other and stuff like that, and yet,
Right.
I feel like this show just really should be a lot funnier than it is to me. I don't know. I really hope.
It's one of those things where it's like, oh, this is where they're gonna get to the funny part, and then it ends.
Yeah.
Yep. Exactly.
I'm only really laughing. I'm only really laughing when the Konosuba characters are on it.
Yeah.
But I just want to know why this exists and who asked for this.
So all of these are so all the source material, I believe, are published by Kadokawa, or it's one of the big publishing arms, and so because they're all it is Kadokawa. So Kadokawa is producing this anime. ReZero Overlord, Tanya.
It's called Yojo Senki.
Okay.
Yojo Senki. Yeah.
Yojo Senki are, and which one did I miss? ReZero are all published under Kadokawa.
Okay.
And I'm guessing that somewhere there's a slot, because there are quite a few shorts this season between Senryu Shoujo, Why the Hell Are You Here, Teacher? There's there's a couple of shorts, so I'm guessing someone approached Kadokawa and was like, "Yo, we have a 12-minute slot open. Is there anything you want to do?" And then they were like, "Hey, remember Junior High Attack on Titan?
Oh.
People like that, didn't they?"
Okay, hold on. I'm finding myself in a strange position now as the one who's about to defend Isekai Quartet.
Oh shit!
I was gonna do that.
Oh, you
I was
were?
actually
Okay.
gonna say it was
Kind of.
okay.
To an
yeah.
extent. To
Well,
an extent.
First off, Mines, let me ask you, how many of the 4 shows have you seen?
I've seen 3 of them.
Okay, I have only seen 2.
Same. I've only seen the first
ReZero
2.
and Konosuba.
I will say.
Yeah.
And I think I gave both of them 5s. I might have given ReZero lower than that.
Yeah. Or no, I've seen 3. I've seen the first season of Overlord. But
Yeah, I'm
Okay.
the same.
I think
I've s-
if ReZero had ended at episode 18, I would have given a much higher score than I ended up giving it.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
agree with that big time. But so I think that let's start with Konosuba. So Konosuba, I think, has really good potential, but I laugh at it a lot per season. But the shade I was just throwing at it and Tay, all of the characters only have a single joke associated with them. And I just get so sick of that joke by the end of the season that it's not funny anymore.
Somehow,
However-
I'm feeling... No, I feel that way too, with Darkness especially.
Yeah.
Yeah, and like Darkness was one of the funniest characters like to start off with, I felt like. It's
But after
I don't
like
know.
2 seasons of the same joke.
Well, I haven't seen the second
However-
season of Konosuba. I watched the first season of Konosuba, I enjoyed it well enough, and then I have not been motivated to watch the second, so that's how...
If you don't like Darkness, you're not going to like the second season of Konosuba.
Yeah. And I
But
thought I was
I
gonna like
think
Konosuba
that
because I like saber faces, but like
one of
no.
the strengths of Isekai Quartet is that so far, like, it's being carried for me by Tanya. I haven't seen her show, so I don't know. Maybe I will because I'm really enjoying her character. But then also
Yuki
Aqua
again.
and Kazuma are really doing it for me here.
Yeah.
And I think it's because when they're mixed in with the cast of these other 3 shows, it's not just seeing them do the same gag over and over again. They're kind of like mixed in with other characters, so they feel fresher every time that they come up. I think that this format is really letting Konosuba at least shine.
Well, it
Fresher
also
every
helps
time. That's a good tagline.
It also helps that Konosuba is the only like pure comedy show out of the 4 of them.
That's true.
So I feel like it's easier for them to write comedy skits with the Konosuba characters than it is with Tanya and like Ainz and all of them. But I found myself laughing. I had this realization when I was driving home from work that I only really laugh at Isekai Quartet when there's a Konosuba character on the screen. Like when pretty much the last episode when Subaru and Cosmo were just like having a go at each other because
that was the best scene in the show.
I was laughing at that part. And also when Rem was carrying Subaru and he was all embarrassed, and then Cosmo was getting carried by Darkness. No shame at all.
No.
Yeah.
That was pretty funny too. But I only really laugh when there's like Aqua's being an idiot or something.
Yeah, and so I will say that like it does, to me at least, feel like the show has been getting better, but I also like didn't laugh, I don't think, at all in the first episode, like for example. So I don't know. I'm probably the like least positive towards it out of us, but it does have moments that are really funny, and it's also shorts. So
I
Well,
just
it's not fun to
immediately
watch.
stop laughing and start wanting to turn the show off whenever a ReZero character comes on screen.
Yeah. Except when.
They're so not funny.
They're
Like
not. Like, Subaru is actively unfunny. Like, I feel like he takes away, like, the laughter I've had in my life.
yeah, and they try and make a joke out of that in the first episode too, right? Where like Subaru like stand or they have like Subaru like stand up and like try and make a joke, and he's just unfunny, and then people like try and make fun of him for it, but it's not really comedy.
It's not funny.
It's just him not being funny, and then someone pointing out that he's not funny, and it's like, why are we here?
It's like when they were going through the first episode and like introducing each of them pushing the buttons, I was going along with it. I was like, the Konosuba intro was like good on the level that Konosuba usually is. So like entertaining, but not really my thing.
Right.
The Overlord one, I don't know anything about Overlord, so I didn't really get it.
I saw the first season of Overlord, and I don't feel like there was that much to get.
Okay.
No.
The Tanya one I thought was really funny. And then they're all sitting in the class, and you just hear like Subaru's voice coming from down the hall. And the second his voice hit my ears, I was like, oh, now the show's ruined. I was like, I came off the Tanya high, like, this is really funny. Like, this show could be pretty good. And then Subaru, and I was like, no, this show's dead.
The Tanya stuff was funny as an introduction too, because I had not seen it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
So
that's the one show that I've seen nothing of, so I'm kind of curious
So
about
I was like,
it now.
oh, okay, maybe I'll watch it. Wow, they got us. They fucking they boomed us. They got us. If we watch Yoko Shenja or whatever, then they won. The Nazis have actually won.
I have
also
heard that. One sec. I have heard that the authors of ReZero and Konosuba are friends in real life, and that Konosuba was written as like an indirect parody of ReZero. So
that's actually kind of great.
Yeah, that's actually true. Yes. Well, we got Konosuba first as an anime.
The interactions between Subaru and Kazuma are really funny because they do make like perfect foils for each other.
Right.
Both in the scene where they're each being carried and the Subaru is doing his like super toxic asshole bit about it and like his honor as a man and whatever the fuck. And then Kazuma's just like, yeah, no, you've got to do this. This is the most efficient way is for me to not have to walk anywhere.
I really want to know who wrote the script for this. Was it just like
Yeah,
some
that's a good question.
aspiring fanfic author?
Yo, that's the life. Sign
Right?
me up for that job.
Yo, when you just like sit there and they're like, and they told me my ReZero Konosuba crossover /fic would never get published.
Holy shit. That'd
Where
actually be
are you
the best
guys now?
impetus for this show. I would be so much more on board with this show if it just turned out that they like picked up someone who wrote like a 4-way fanfic and we're like, yeah, no, we're just animating this. It's okay.
And it was just like it was just revenge for against Tanner from high school.
So the
yeah.
scriptwriter is Ashina Minoru. I'm scrolling through him now.
Ooh, yeah, you scroll through him.
Yeah, oh yeah. Looks like he is the director for Overlord. Wait.
Yeah,
Overlord,
the director
Play
and
Play
script.
Pleiades? That is not the actual show. I don't know what this is. It looks
Oh,
okay,
wait, no,
it
he
looks
also
like he's
did-
directed
okay.
some other like chibi spoofs.
Yeah,
Okay.
I watched. So it looks like he was the director for
Oh, for
all
three of
the
shows.
chibi anime.
Yeah,
So-
all the
oh,
chibi
so, like,
spoofs of
So
ReZero,
Konosuba
Overlord, and Yojo Senki.
Konosuba didn't have this, so I didn't see it. So I didn't know there was one for Overlord and for Yoko Senki.
Yeah.
But ReZero had it in like Hajimaru Break Time, and that was actually a lot of fun.
Yeah. Okay. So this isn't his first rodeo, but he hasn't worked on any of the like actual shows.
No. Wait, so maybe he
Interesting.
does just write fanfics.
I think he does. He's just a professional fanfic writer.
That's actually this AUSOL fanfics. Yeah, and I really like my favorite joke so far was when like Aqua shows up and she like stares down the people from Overlord and they're like, they're all undead, I have to get rid of them.
Yeah, that was really good.
And like she does damage, like she hurts whatever the main dude from Overlord is, and then Cosmo like punches her, is like sorry, and just drags him away, and he's like, how powerful must he be to be able to keep that goddess in check? So
yeah,
just
but I think my bottom line on this show is if you've watched and enjoyed like even just one or two of the shows, then this isn't amazing, but it's worth it. You definitely don't need to have seen all four in order to get it. It's kind of like the Carnival Phantasm effect, where it's a crossover between Fate's Day Night and Tsukihime, but literally nobody has seen Tsukihime and everyone loves Carnival Phantasm anyway.
that's
Yeah.
true. Tsukihime remake when, by the way? Time Moon Wizard.
Yeah,
Yeah.
literally never.
and like this is one of those things. I'm the most negative on this show, I think, out of the pod, and I still think it's worth like giving a shot, just because like it's shorts and they do have some funny moments. So like, no real downside here.
Wait, I just found out that Cosma is voiced by Jun Fukushima. Not. I thought it was Jun Fukuyama.
You got
got-
baited.
Yeah, I got baited so hard. I was like, wait, he's been voiced by Fukuyama this entire time, and I had no idea. No, it's Jun Fukushima. But we do have Ria Takahashi, which is great. So
I need Amelia and Megami to talk to each other.
they do.
I
'cause-
need I need either of them to talk at all.
That's also true. This is also true. I also want Shaltier to mess around with darkness a bit. That could be funny.
Oh,
But other than that, it's fun. It's kind of it's that show that I watch each season where I can just turn my brain off for a little bit. It's kind of mindless.
Yeah, but while this might not be everyone's cup of tea or always enjoyable, you know what is music to our ears? That's right, it's Carole Tuesday.
Hey.
And I don't know if you guys have heard of the show. I heard the director might kind of be well known for doing anime that is well known for its music. Can you guys help me out here? Is this Watanabe guy any good?
Also, not even the best director known
he's
for his
average at
music
best.
doing a show this season.
Yeah, that's true. Also, it's really strange how we've got to see the show, given that it's not legally viewable, but I guess we've just had it downloaded directly into our brains.
It's fine. Don't worry about it. It's also a very good show.
Yes. Look, you can't watch this legally, but you should still probably watch this legally.
Just like whenever Netflix releases it from jail, just come back to this part in like 6 months.
Yeah, and then it'll be true. We'll be able to recommend you watch it legally.
I'm just imagining that one meme of the guy who's like banging on the fence and like the gate and trying to get in, and he's like, "Let me in." And that's like me with Netflix and like Carole Tuesday.
That is very funny.
Yeah.
So you guys are liking this show, huh?
Yeah. Are
I'm
you
in
not?
love with this show.
Wow, Sinris, you got something to say, buddy?
I definitely don't dislike it. But
All right, all in favor of kicking Sinris off the pod? Say aye. We'll see you Tuesday.
Man, no, it's probably my second favorite show out of the shit that's starting this
Same.
season, to be honest.
Me as well.
Well, I mean, I guess it probably is for me too, but like seasonals.
The
Fair, okay,
despair
fair.
on like
Fair.
Sinris's icon is actually perfect for the episode right now.
Oh man, so no, like for me that's not even a bad thing. Like these two shows, which we'll get to the other one in a minute. This one I think is like on a track for an 8+ for me. Like I'm enjoying it quite a bit. It's got a nice aesthetic. Like I like the characters. The music has been nice. Like it. I mean, obviously it could be better. It could be worse. Like I don't really know quite where it's gonna go, but I like Watanabe stuff, so I'm enjoying it so far.
Yeah, I'm liking it a lot too. The first episode, it kind of hooked me where I thought it was gonna be one of those underdog stories, and I was fully prepared to watch these two girls make it all the way to fame. And then the second episode, it caught me off guard when they went viral that quickly.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
In a way, but it's still not enough to deter me from watching it. I think it's going to go more down that route of like acoustic music versus computer-made music, how they were sort of operating on Angela's vocal cords. But so far the music's good. It's kind of weird how they go from speaking perfect Japanese to singing in
Perfect
English.
Yeah.
But the music's not. I like the songs. So
Look, there's like
it's not really
three
too
really
much.
unrealistic things for me. One is that Carole Tuesday had never been on a train before in her life.
Sheltered rich girl. Trains are transportation
if you're that
for the
rich,
poor masses.
why not just buy your own train at that point? That's what I would do if I was filthy rich. That's unrealistic number one. Unrealistic number two is the fact that, they go from speaking perfect Japanese to perfect English. An unrealistic thing number three is that, like, however many years into the future this is, they are still on Instagram.
When they whip out Instagram and it's literally just Instagram, it's not like Instasham or whatever.
Yeah.
That was a big double take for me.
And she straight up plays on a Gibson
and then
guitar.
also like the manager who's just like joking about like fucking like actual like artists and things and like oh it's so weird, but I love it.
I was just like, man, first of all, I'd really love to be able to get into this and see like if Instagram signed off on this and like if Instagram is producing, like we used to have to worry about Sony producing everything, and while that that has its drawbacks, at least we get Lisa. But what if Facebook starts producing anime?
What the fuck? Okay, so that's a weird direction to think about.
There is a real Instagram for the show. It's not like a viral marketing like meta thing like I originally hoped it would be. But the show does have an Instagram account. And it was from browsing that I learned something pretty cool about what you guys were saying about the switching from perfect Japanese to perfect English. Is that obviously the Japanese voice actresses are not the ones singing the songs.
Right.
But the show,
You never know.
They had a worldwide like audition talent search for like the musical voices of the two characters.
That is cool.
So
Did they find them on Instagram?
Yeah. If you go to like the Instagram like Carole Tuesday account, it'll have like links to them and stuff about them. But
That's really cool.
Carole's voice Carole's voice is an R&B artist from New York City.
Represent. Let's go.
Yeah. And Tuesday's voice is a Japanese or not Japanese American, I guess, American Japanese singer-songwriter who lives in, I want to say, Osaka.
Oh, that's cool.
With American parents. Yeah.
That's really cool. Yeah, the music video for the opening is out. You can with the actual English singers, and it's pretty cool actually.
Oh,
the
cool.
characters in the show actually look similar to the people in real life.
Yeah, they do.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
Tuesday actually has the same Gibson guitar, which I thought was really cool.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder how far along in the production they were when they started doing the auditions then.
Yeah.
Or if they were like, oh, what a happy happenstance that, like, they just happened to look like the characters we've already
Or if they
drawn.
typecast really hard.
Look, I wanted to give them the benefit of the doubt.
Yeah. No, I mean, I assume that if they look really similar, that they kind of went, based the designs off them in some way.
Yeah.
Right.
Like, that'd be my guess, but who knows?
Also, I can't imagine how expensive that Gibson guitar is. Like in Mars and, like, the future.
Yeah, that's real.
Like, Gibson guitars are already really hard to find, especially, like, really well-made ones from, like, a while back. But, like, now you're going, like, thousands of years into the future. So, but yeah, it's fun. The animation's really crisp and really clean. I like it a lot.
Yeah, the show looks great.
So just for like a quick rundown of like why I'm enjoying the show so much so far, I think it's like obviously it looks really nice. It's got the nice music. I like the amount of setting detail that they're kind of managing to pack into just small things, and I have a feeling like this show is going to be more about the world, which is what I'm sort of excited for. And so overall, like I could see this show kind of landing almost anywhere for me, but I'm pretty hopeful about it, like knowing who it's written by, and just from these first couple of episodes. It's charming, it's nice, it's fun. It seems like it's gonna have a lot to it, I guess.
Yeah, there's definitely a lot of time. It's going to be 24 episodes, so they definitely have plenty of time to build the world and everything. But I feel that, I don't know if I'm judging it too early, but I feel like if it really, really gets good down the line and the payoff is really good, that we could be sitting on something massive. Like we could be another Watanabe classic.
Yeah, well, I mean, I can see it.
Dare I say.
I could see it being
on
either
Netflix
one.
then hurt or help it?
That'll help.
Who knows?
Yeah,
Yeah, really.
it's just really hard to say. Like, I could see this being a Watanabe classic. I could see it just being like a 7 out of 10. It's probably not going to be bad. Like, I'm probably going to like it.
Yeah.
Is where I'm at.
No way it's going to
I'm
be a
at with
bad
this.
show.
Yeah. You
it
iffy on
does take place in the same universe as Cowboy Bebop and Space Dandy because it has the same currency.
Oh,
There we go.
They all use
Continuity.
which universe of Space Dandy?
Well, that's a good point. Hopefully the one where they die in the first episode.
Holy crap, Senryu. This could also be in the same universe as Samurai Champloo, and it's just like way in the future.
I guess that's true.
I mean, yeah.
What about Kids on the Slope?
I mean, it's. I mean, there's like probably a modern transition between those. We're just gonna go with it all being a Watanabe verse. Like that's.
Wait, Watanabe Cinematic Universe when?
Watanabe Quartet win?
Oh,
Yeah. Oh, I would watch Watanabe
Watanabe
Quartet.
Watanabe Quartet would be awesome. Like
what
that would be
the
legit
Watanabe
funny
Quartet,
too.
though? Would you include this, or would you just go Kids on the Slope, Cowboy Bebop, Samurai Champloo, and Kids on the Slope?
I'd say we need an episode where Spike and Dandy from Space Dandy interact, but we already have that in Cowboy Bebop with the fucking Cowboy Andy episode. So.
Oh yeah, the Cowboy Andy. Oh man, it's it's the music's great. The animation's clean. I will say, like, we've come a long way since Your Lie in April, where we had like very obvious 3D CG for like playing piano stuff.
Dude, they put like 90% of the animation budget into their fingers.
Yeah,
I don't doubt it.
yeah. It's I remember, like, to me, I was like, man, like, we're not gonna see anything like. The best to me is still the God Knows scene from Haruhi Suzumiya. Cause they like actually recorded them performing that concert and then just like rotoscoped and like redrew all of it instead of doing 3D CG. And like UFO has had some good moments as well with like the music aspect, but like Carole Tuesday for me, I don't know what it is, but it just feels like really clean and crisp in all of its musicality or music playing.
Yeah, the fashion in this show is great.
The fashion.
Oh yeah, for sure.
They're
The
all
city
so
looks
well
really
dressed.
cool too.
Yeah.
Is the city just supposed to be like a futuristic Mars version of New York City?
Did they? What's the
I
name
don't know.
of the city?
I feel like they're going to
It's
explore
Alba
it
City.
more.
Alba City. That's it. Yeah.
Because they have like enough focus on like Carole showing like Tuesday kind of like what she like likes about the city and kind of like the culture there, and I'm gonna guess that we're gonna get a bit more of a deep dive into what the city itself is kind of like.
Yeah.
I could be wrong on that front, but I'm figuring right now that that's going to be one of the focuses of the show at some point.
So I guess it's not even really criticism as much as it is just disappointment with the show. Was, especially with the first episode, and it's gotten lesser as it's gone on. But the first episode felt like really childish to me, like I was watching a kids show, where they like meet up and they're like, "Hi, my name's Carole. I like music. My name's Tuesday. I like music too. Let's be music friends and do music together. Yay!"
I was born on a Tuesday. I was born on probably, or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's like, there's nothing wrong with that, but it was
I feel like Senryu
so
thinks there's
much
something wrong with that.
simpler than I was expecting and hoping for.
Yeah, that's perfectly fair. Like, I didn't get that impression of it being, like, super childish, but that's a completely accurate synopsis.
Yeah,
that I don't.
definitely.
Yeah, and I get
realize
how
that
you
now.
can come away with, like, that, from it, with that impression. Yeah.
It's a win.
It's fun. It's interesting to see how it'll turn out. We do have 2 cores of it, and it is helmed by a wonderful director, but it's not the only director who's been coming out of a bit of a hiatus to deliver a well-acclaimed anime this year. And his contemporary is in Sarazanmai, where we have, once again, the famous Ikuhara showing up. And what a ride. You know, like, I'll be honest, you guys, I haven't seen Sarazanmai because I've been swamped with finals and, you know, graduating and all that stuff. And I was like, you know, with Ikuhara, sometimes you get shows that aren't very straightforward and require a lot of critical thinking. I had just finished up a rewatch of Marumaru Penguin Drum on HIDIVE via their Xbox app. and
Smooth.
Thank you. Just like Ikuhara. And I was like, okay, so I'll keep Sarazanmai on the back burner, but you know, like, it's been a couple years. Yurikuma Arashi was a little out there, so maybe he's come down to earth a little bit from that. It seems like the general consensus is no.
No.
That said,
Not at all.
if we're not talking about leftovers, and just the shows that have started this season, this is so far pretty easily going to be my anime of the season for how fucking weird it is. Like, it is a good weird show.
Has Ikuhara been a bad weird show?
I don't know. This actually might be my first Ikuhara.
Oh, whoa!
Are you
Welcome
serious?
to the club. Welcome to the club.
Welcome.
What a show to start off
Right.
watching.
People have been trying to sell me on Penguin Drum for a while. It's been on high on my plan to watch list, and I just haven't been in the mood. But this is probably going to get me on an Ikuhara binge because I really am just a fan of things that are simultaneously like out there and hilarious and also have like a really strong kind of emotional core to them, and that just is what this show is. It does a really great job of kind of blending its comedy and like zaniness with very human and hard-hitting stories, at least so far.
Yeah, I haven't watched Yurikuma Arashi because everyone says it's the bad one, so I've overlooked it.
It's the bear one, actually.
But Utena and Penguin Drum are both excellent shows. Utena is my personal favorite of the two. And this is... So, Sarazanmai obviously has some of the classic Ikuhara trappings with the, like, heavy repetition and, like, the impromptu, like, bizarre, nonsensical musical interludes.
Wait, do they welcome you to a rock and roll night?
No, they don't.
Close,
Have you
close.
seen the sexy cop dance by any chance, Tay?
Holy shit.
Has that been clipped for you? It's amazing.
No.
It's an every
no.
episode thing too. It's
Yeah.
Yeah, it wasn't in the first episode, but it's been
but
the ones after that. Yeah,
but yeah,
That's
and it
amazing.
seems like they're gonna keep going. Like they have the 2 dances that they do every episode, which
yeah.
yeah, it's fun. I didn't find it like that funny the first time for some reason because it was just kind of like, what the fuck is even going on? But like as the show has gone on, it's just the humor has got to me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is also my favorite anime of the season as well.
Mhm.
So that, and I've seen Penguin Drum is the only Ikuhara show I've seen, and I was not the biggest fan of it. So I was
Oh.
kind of hesitant to pick this up at all, but I'm really glad I did because it's colorful, it's really zany.
Mm-hmm.
I don't really care that it doesn't make sense because I'm just having a blast with it. I'm really interested in seeing what other secrets the characters hold because that first episode sort of twist with the guy being the cross-dresser hooked me pretty hard. But I found myself rewatching clip parts of it over and over while I wait for the next episode.
Yeah, we've got
And the gay cops are great.
we've got our 3 boys with their big secrets. One of them is a cross-dresser, one of them is gay, and one of them
The other one
weed.
sells weed.
Yeah.
And also, well, I don't want to spoil the latest episode, but shit.
Ooh.
Yeah, I actually haven't seen episode 4 yet.
Okay. The episode today is, oh man, it seems like this show is getting into some heavier stuff now.
Yeah. It's interesting you say that, because I was going to say that, like, minds you were just saying that, like, there's the strong emotional core already set up, but compared to Penguin Drum and Utena, I felt like Sarazanmai is laying its cards very clearly on the table very early. Whereas with both of those other 2 shows, they're weird right from the start and have like hints of like very strange supernatural stuff happening under the surface, but like watching the first episode and then watching the last episode, you'd barely even recognize it as the same show.
I mostly attribute not liking Penguin Drum to me just being new. I didn't really know what I was getting myself into because I kind of one-off watched it on a Reddit contracts thread. So it was something someone recommended to me.
I have a question.
Actually, I think
Does Penguin Drum ever lay its cards? Sitters, you're like, eventually they lay their cards out, but I'm like...
No, nobody has ever watched that show and come away from it understanding what happened before consulting the Apple Math chart. But
Jesus, okay, I'm curious about the show more
chart
now.
is great, though.
but like,
No.
without
Nobody
getting
else
into like
minds, yeah.
what Penguin Drum is actually about, it starts out the like thematic material, or like the plot material that is being dealt with for the first like third of the show is so wildly different in tone from the stuff from
This
like
is
the
true.
actually serious stuff that happens at the end. And the same is also true in Utena, and it seems like we're starting out with like serious like soul-bearing shit in Sarazanmai. So I'm very curious to see if that's actually true and he's just like going at it hardcore from the start, or if there's going to be some other sort of like radical shift as the show goes on.
With how you're describing Penguin Drum, it's interesting because while Sarazanmai is fucking bonkers and off the wall, like, it's really easy to follow the story. Like, it's not, it doesn't feel obfuscated at all. It's like, it's just kind of straight up with like, all right, we're gonna do some ridiculous shit, and now all of a sudden it's like some heavy emotional shit for our characters, and like, it's very straightforward for how weird it is, especially with how you're like describing Penguin Drum.
Wait, so
Yeah,
it's...
that's what I'm saying. It feels like I understand what's happening, and that's a very suspicious feeling.
Wait,
From
yeah.
Ikuhara.
I'm sorry, that's... Are you sure this is Ikuhara, then? Because that's not supposed to be allowed.
Well, it is only going to be 11 episodes, too.
Yeah.
So
Oh,
he
is this
kind
on
of has to go for it.
Is this like on
Where-
the Noitamina
Yeah.
slot? Okay.
So, whereas Utena is 39 episodes,
Yep.
and then Penguin Drum is 24, there's not really much time for him to faff around.
Right.
Right, and like Utena, like, it has that really hard-hitting scene in its third act.
Right.
And that's like after like 2 seasons, 30-something episodes of payoff. And like Penguin Drum, it's like, I've rewatched it twice. I think I love it. I'm still not quite sure what.
I'm definitely due for a rewatch of it. I feel like I'd appreciate it a lot more now.
Here's the thing. I thought I would appreciate it more on a rewatch too, and I just came away and was like, I'm more lost now than I was after the first watch. Because like with Penguin Drum, I was like, oh, like, you know, like there was so much that went over my head. So if I watch it a second time, I'll have already known what to expect at the end. So when I rewatch it from the beginning, I'll just know like what it's building to. And then I'm just like, I have no idea. How is this tying into what happens at the end? Oh, man.
Yeah, I was just about to say something, and I think I've lost it.
Oh, no. Well,
I don't know.
If we can't find it...
Just
so, Sarazanmai, apparently 3 of our anime of the season potentially already, so...
Yeah.
Alright, let's address the kappa in the room, though.
Oh, okay.
How do you guys feel about butt stuff?
I don't care.
It's a little
That's
weird.
That's the correct answer.
Yeah, it's there. Like it's a little like the thing at the end of every dance number is a little graphic for my taste, but that's it. It's not in the way, I guess.
I just chalk it up to it's anime. Like I've seen weirder stuff in this medium,
right?
But it's definitely not. Doesn't make it boring. That's for sure.
Yeah,
I'm sorry. What?
So for context, Tay, at every single episode, when they do a dance number that leads into kind of like their like quote unquote fight with whatever the main villain of the thing is, that's like almost literally the same thing every single time. And at the end of that fight, it's them pulling the Shirodakima, or what do they call it? Like out of its butt.
Shirikodama. Yeah.
Yeah, and so they just like get behind the thing, and then like whatever the highlight character of the episode is, just like dives and pulls the thing out of his butt.
Yeah. So it's a Japanese like mythological thing. Like the kappa was said to steal people's shirikodamas, which is a fictional organ located inside of their anus. So the transformation sequence before every fight involves the 3 main boys getting their butts sucked by an anthropomorphic turtle man voiced by Junichi Suwabe.
Yeah,
it's great. It's great. Anime of the season.
Yeah.
Right there. That's all you need to know. Don't worry about the plot. Like, it's already the best thing coming
out. The first time I
out.
saw it in episode 1, I was like, oh my god, this is a lot. This is maybe, like, a little too much. And then after that, every episode since then, I've just rolled with it. And it's fine.
That's funny, because I was dying laughing the first time it happened.
Yeah.
That's interesting, because like the first episode I was like, I kind of like the story going on, and for some reason the comedy just did not click for me, and then as soon as I watched the second episode, I was dying laughing. Like, I don't know why it didn't click the first time, but the second episode, I was just with it.
Yeah, I can only imagine what you've been thinking if this is your first Ikuhara.
Yeah, right?
Jeez. Yeah, I know. Because, okay, so I didn't know it was Ikuhara or like a known director at first. I saw the synopsis and was like, this is going to be a trash show. Like a genuine trash show. Like, I will just like watch the first episode. Yeah, I had no idea when I was watching the first episode. And then I saw the first episode and was like, oh, like this is kind of enjoyable, but the comedy isn't landing for me. And then I watched the second episode and was like, oh, this is hilarious and awesome. So yeah, no, it took me until like after I had seen like the first, I think, 2 episodes before I even knew it was someone known who had made it.
Right. I'm so excited to see where he goes with this because like for whatever personal reasons he has, he's always been a director who's like very, very big on like LGBT themes, but has almost exclusively focused on shows about women in the past.
Yeah, well, I think they might be doing something...
Utena? Oh, I guess it's women focused.
Yeah.
I think they might be doing something really interesting with I guess like cross-dresser's character's whole gender thing, because it almost feels like it's setting up like a love triangle with him. Except that his like childhood friend character seems to like see him more as a dude, and then all of the scenes of like him kind of interacting and getting to know like the new character are him in his like as a woman. And so I don't know, but it feels like it might be setting something up along like those lines and having him like sort of trying to find his own identity. I could be wrong on that front, but that's my like soft prediction.
You could watch an Ikuhara show.
I'm really curious to see what sort of takes Ikuhara has to offer on like male sexuality, because it's even in Penguin Drum, where like the two main characters are both boys, that there's not really a lot of that.
I mean, Utena has a lot of that though.
Utena does, but it's
mostly
it's subservient to like the lesbian characters are much more
at the forefront.
At the forefront with their sexuality, as opposed to just like the general vague homoeroticism of the male characters.
Right. That's fair. I think that's true. That's a good point. So there's a lot of butts in this episode, is what you're saying.
There's a lot of butts.
There's a lot of butts in the show. Like this show is making no attempts to hide the fact that it is a very gay show, but it is.
Okay.
Yeah.
So my roommate has been asking me for like shows. He's like, when can we watch like a gay show? And then like we watched Penguin Drum, and it's like, I wanted this to be like more gay. Like we're more gay guys.
Yeah.
I don't know, because he was like, oh, he's seen like UFO. He's seen like Top. He's like, where are the gay boys?
Get him into this shit. This seems good, and it seems gay. So this might be his thing.
Well, you know what also seems good and appealing to guys who are into guys and girls who are into guys. That's right. It's the reboot of the classic shoujo Fruits Basket.
Yes.
So yes. So now we've reached our true form as the Our Anime Fruitcast.
Yeah, right. Okay, now this has to be all of our anime of the season. We've got to reject our opinions and whatever.
Did any of you guys watch the original Fruits Basket?
I have.
I have not.
I have. I watched it a few months ago, just on a whim. I don't have like the massive nostalgia boner for it. But the original was good until the end, because it has that classic 2000s anime shitty original ending.
Right.
Oh.
Yeah. But now I'm really excited to see it all the way through. That definitely the animation is eons better. Although I know that a lot of people still have big nostalgia for Studio Dean's attempt at it.
Oh, it was an early 2000s Dean show.
Yeah. I'm not saying anything about it.
That's a rough feel.
Type Moonmaster. What do you know about early
Requiem for a Dean?
Hey,
but I'm still really I'm enjoying it as much as I enjoyed the first part of the original. It just looks better. It has actual animation. I like the voice. The voice actors are really stacked too. Although I'm kind of tired of hearing Uma Yuchida's voice, and it kind of sucks that he's Kyo, because Kyo's my favorite character in that.
Kyo, oh my gosh, I love Kyo so much.
But other than that, I like that they changed. I kind of like that they redid the voice actors in a way. But I know a massive amount of people, especially I see on the discussion threads, that praise the original and praise the manga. So for their sake, I'm hoping that this turns out to be really good, because I really am enjoying this too. It's definitely my type of shtick.
It's been really interesting to see, especially Sawashiro, because this is like her first role, I think, back from her pregnancy, and now that she's a mom, she is now playing a mom in the anime. So I thought that was
Sawashiro's the mom?
Yep.
She's the mom. Yeah.
Okay, I didn't realize that.
Yeah. They wanted to. That's actually why she had the pregnancy. Why she had a kid. So she was like, "Yo, like I'm too old to be like one of the characters in Fruits Basket now, like the high schoolers. So I have to be a mom." And they were like, "Yo, Miyuki, like we're sorry, but like you have to have we want to cast an actual mom for this role." She's like, "Well, time to open up the baby factory."
Oh my god.
But yeah, it's been a lot of fun. It's been really cute. The boys are really cute. Holy crap.
They are gorgeous.
Oh my gosh. How is Kyo okay. I'm not gonna Kyo. How is Kyo allowed to exist in this universe? I do not understand.
Oh my goodness.
I'm enjoying this show a lot more than I expected to. I picked it up just because of like name recognition and for fruit memes, but I can't really put my finger on why, but it's something about it is really good. Like, at a glance, it feels like a very typical reverse harem, but there's some sort of like inklings beneath the surface that
It's
these
very-
characters are like much more unique and have like much more going on in their heads than you would expect just by like looking at the way they interact with each other.
Yeah, I agree with that 100%. Like I was watching the show and it never really felt like it was 100% my thing, but I just have enjoyed watching it because it just seems like a well executed version of what it is. And even if like what it is isn't like 100% the sort of show I'd normally watch, like
Right.
I'll enjoy just about anything that's like really well done. So here we are.
Well, it is like the shoujo manga of all shoujo mangas. It's like the grandmother shoujo. So it has pretty much every single trope and cliche you could possibly imagine in shoujo romance manga and anime. But it's cute. It's fun. It does it well.
Yeah, no, it's there's a lot of tropes in it. I love that they had like a convenient in-universe excuse for why like they can't hug or touch and stuff.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, if you do, we turn into animals. And I'm like, oh, great, like unfulfilled sexual tension. Yes. Like that's
And it kind of segues into its own comedy as well, with him transforming at school and everything.
right.
And I especially love the Yuki fan club. I'm surprised.
Yeah.
In the original, they didn't come in until towards the end, actually. So I was really surprised to see them at the beginning. But they're great. I can't wait to see more of them.
It kind of gave me whatchamacallit, why can't I remember it? The Mori, oh my gosh, why can't the Josei anime about the forest, Mori, something no Mori.
Hotarugi no
Yeah,
Morie?
yes, that one.
Okay, I haven't seen it, I just know the name.
Yeah. Oh, interesting. Okay, it's hold on. I'm gonna like, why can't I Hotarugi no Morie, yeah. Hotarugi no Morie. It gave me a lot of similar vibes to that. But also like Fruits Basket, I don't really have the nostalgia factor for like watching it. I watched a few episodes here and there. I think it was on the Toonami block for a bit, or Kids WB when I was growing up. But I mostly remember it because like when I was a kid, I played in a Yu-Gi-Oh tournament, and I won, and the prize was like a year's subscription of Beckett magazines and like a couple of booster cards.
Nice.
And I just remember like Fruits Basket was always talked about in this magazine. I was like, psh, who's gonna watch this shoujo anime all this time? So, and now here I am.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's been a lot of fun. The voice acting cast is, as people have said, really good. I really like what's her face? The main character's voice actress, Toru's voice actress.
Yep.
Monica Iwami. She hasn't been in a lot of things. But she was in Taraka Won't Fall in Love as Teresa Wagner, or Not Saber. And you know,
no fucking wonder you like her.
I gotta rep my Saber faces.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Go
on.
The voice actors was one of the biggest gripes with the original that I had. I had to watch the dub of the original's great. And I'm sure the dub of the remake is great as well because they kept most of the voice cast.
Oh, interesting.
But I remember watching a couple episodes subbed of the 2001, because Yuki was voiced by a woman.
Okay.
And he straight up sounded like they made no attempts to make a deep voice. It straight up. I thought Yuki was a girl for half that show. And same with well, I guess they haven't been named in the remake yet, but one of the characters down the line, Momiji, sort of their voice was grating, but their voice of Megumi Han this time around, so it's going to be great.
Okay.
Yeah.
Also,
I'm just really excited. I'm just excited to hear you guys' reactions to all the somas that come in the later episodes. Because I'm really glad that they got Kagura out of the way early. Because I don't like her at all.
Yeah,
I don't like her.
Not fun.
I think she's really annoying. But there's a couple that come in soon that I'm just really excited to hear the new people's reactions on.
Yeah, I guess we'll see you in retro.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Oh.
So far, all of the way they've kind of like subverted my expectations, at least, with which characters would be which zodiacs, has been really fun. I haven't seen any of them coming. Like, especially like the school idol perfect boy being the rat.
is
so unexpected and it's one of those little things I was talking about that just makes it feel like there's more to Yuki than there is to what you'd expect from his character archetype.
Who are you guys rooting for then in this Best Boy War?
Well, Yuki's a fucking dick because he's the rat.
Yeah.
So it's got to be Kyo.
Kyo's the best. Wait, no,
Yeah,
isn't Kyo... Kyo's the best. Kyo's the cat.
Yeah, Kyo is great. I mean, Kyo is also like slated to win, like at least just in terms of the whole like childhood story deal. So
with the cat thing.
Yeah. But I guess we'll see. But
Which is why
Kyo's
I'm really
great.
nervous that they're gonna give it to Yuki, because that seems like the shoujo trope to do.
Right.
To have like the really lovable boy be the one who doesn't win, and like
that's true.
the cool handsome prince.
There's no childhood friends, really.
That's
so
true. He's not
It
the
could be anyone.
childhood idol. Childhood. Ooh, that's a good point.
With no childhood friend, all bets are off.
I also feel like Shigure is really
territory.
underrated.
It's like the opposite of Nisekoi, where everyone was a childhood friend. So we've gone full circle. We went from all childhood friends to no childhood friends. But regardless, I am excited for this. We also had I know our Type Moon Wizard would be interested in this. Maya Sakamoto voicing a character in this as well.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing her character be introduced.
Yes.
Ugh.
Uh-oh.
Hold on. That's for retro. That's for retro.
Okay.
Not a fan of the character, I take it. All right.
We'll see.
I have some shilling to do on the retro, but
Ooh.
yeah.
All right.
I wonder, do we know
to
how
it.
long this show is going to be? Because
12 episodes, right?
No, I think it says season 1.
Oh, really?
So,
Yeah.
Because it's going to be a full adaptation, so I pray to God they're not adapting it in
I'm pretty sure I saw it say season
no,
one
it's
somewhere. So
unconfirmed. Okay.
I think what?
Yeah.
So I do think they're planning on not on like more.
Ignore me. I just don't know what I'm talking about.
I'm hoping it's just I hope it's at least 4 core.
Mm-hmm. Ooh.
Although
Did you read the
I
manga?
imagine they'll split it up, but it's going to need at least more than 26 episodes to get through the whole thing.
Did you read the manga?
I haven't, but that's just what I've seen on the Reddit threads, is that because 26 episode, the original got through, I don't know, probably about half the manga, I'd have to say.
Uh-huh.
So we'll need some time. Because there are characters in the manga that haven't even been introduced in the original.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. So
That's
I'm in it for the long haul.
nice. As am I. This has been really fun. It's nice to get a nice shoujo again, like a nostalgic kind of shoujo. I kind of miss these. You know, we get a lot of shows. I mean, we had we had Kuzuno Honkai, we had Domestic Girlfriend, we have all these spicy shows, but I kind of miss the wholesome, sweet ones that are just like,
Yeah,
you know.
and this is just like a high quality sweet show to have come out every week. So
Right.
like just a nice relaxing thing to watch.
Yeah.
So it's nice to watch it airing, and there's not like high stakes to it either, and there's no like huge cliffhangers yet. So like I don't mind the weekly nature of it. So
Yeah, I almost think this experience is better for me airing, because there are like plenty of shows that I could go back to that have that kind of like same sweet experience, but for me, like I'll overdose on that stuff and then like not want to finish it. But just like an episode of
you
this a
finished
week is
Nichijou?
perfect for me. No, I haven't started Nichijou.
oh, okay, there was someone I remember talking to who had like started Nichijou and hadn't finished it over like a 3-year span. Because
Oh, really?
It's probably been 3 years since the first time I saw a YouTube clip of one scene from Nichijou.
Yeah, I mean, I've only ever seen YouTube clips of Nichijou. That's where I'm at.
Do you guys, random aside, and it'll be the last Nichijou thing. I recently learned there's a director's cut of Nichijou that's only like 1 core.
Huh.
That's like all just the funny, like they just took only the funny bits and just put it into a like 12 episode DVD collection.
That sounds awesome.
Yeah. You know what else sounds awesome? The rest of our anime season, 2019, spring 2019 podcast. So those were the like big shows we watched and we really liked. Now we're gonna go into a couple shows that might not have the biggest following, but we thought it might be worth a mention. So the first one is
Lightning round.
Lightning round. Pow. I feel like we need to do like a lightning kick with this too. Go all Gunbuster Diebuster on this. So the first one is Kenja no Mago.
Oh, I thought you were going to segue into this and I was going to immediately shoot that down and think like you couldn't be more wrong. That it's fun or good in general.
Nope, I didn't even do a transition for this one.
I don't even know where to. I just kind of laugh at this because it's probably the most 5 out of 10 thing I've watched in a while. The main character in the first episode, he's walking home from his job and just gets hit by a truck. Truck Coon strikes again, and then it just times it. I don't want to say it's a time skip, but it shows him in a fantasy world being 8 years old, and his dad's fucking Merlin, and he's just a god. He has this like magic. He does some magic explosions, and all the townspeople are like, "Whoa, no way!" And then it time skips again to when he's 15 years old in high school, at this fantasy magic high school. And
does he retain all his memories of being like? Before
no, he does. He says it just they're just like, oh, I have faint memories of my past life, but I don't really know about it.
I thought isekais being anywhere meant we were done with magic high schools.
Yeah, it doesn't even really feel like an isekai. It just feels like a magic high school. Like there's a scene where they're doing all their attacks, which was actually kind of funny. How they kind of made it look like magical girl henshins. Their attacks like that, but then he just Jesus Coons the thing. So it's all the girls are horny for him. I'm horny for him.
Wait, so what you're telling me is that the writer of this series has been working on his Magic Battle Harem High School show for like 5 years, but then finally finished it and realized, oh shit, like that trend isn't good anymore. Now it's all isekais. Well, if I just had the main character get hit by a truck at the beginning and then go to the high school, now it's an isekai.
That's pretty much it. It's so cliche that even the main character, there's a line that says how utterly cliched. So I honestly don't know if this is a serious thing or it's going to be one of those ironic, whatever you call it, destructions of a
deconstructions
genre, but yeah,
they all do that, right? They're like
at this point, that's just what we're saying, so that we can like rate it an 8 and say it's good.
Yeah. Well, I mean that is the thing for like a lot of these things where like they'll be like tongue in cheek about their tropes and kind of like play it like they're making fun of their genre, but they really just are their genre and are just like slightly self-aware about it.
Right. They just say once, haha, this is so cliche, and then they just do the cliche from then on.
Yeah. So. You can just skip this one. I don't know how it has this like a 7.5 on Mal.
It's got a lot of people watching it.
Yeah, I was surprised, but that's kind of why I picked it up, was because it seemed to have a pretty big following going on. But
yeah, also the top 2 Mal reviews are ones though.
The more I watch it, the more I dislike it. It's just not. It's the most 5 out of it. It's an isekai. That's what I'll say. It's a fucking isekai. We gotta have at least one.
Isekai Quartet.
Yeah, like I don't understand. It's not even picked up by like any licensor. Like
it's on Crunchyroll.
It's on Crunchyroll.
Well, that's a streaming service. Yeah.
Ah, interesting. Okay, weird. Anyway, next is "Why the Hell Are You Here, Teacher," which is from HIDIVE, and it's basically hentai with like weird censored moments here and there. It's actually like it's less about why the hell are you here, teacher, and more like why the hell is this anime here, teacher? It's like really, like I like if people wanted to watch hentai, I'm sure there's hentai to be watched.
Yeah, right. This is the kind of show that confuses me. Like. People are horny. I get it. You're valid to be horny. But, like, if you're horny, then watch porn. Like, this is just porn, but worse because it's censored.
Simmers, can we put that on your tombstone?
Porn, but worse?
Which part?
If you're horny, you watch porn? Oh, man.
Is this one also short form?
Yes, it's also short.
12 episodes.
Maybe
or 12 minutes.
Maybe this is why...
So you don't have to suffer for long.
Maybe this is why we have Isekai Quartet. So that they can fill the 30-minute time slot. It's like... The most recent episode, too, like, tried to play it like a heartwarming episode. Like, it dove into, like, the teacher's backstory on why she became a teacher.
How'd it do at that?
It wasn't the worst. I haven't actually seen any hentai, so I don't know how well they do with backstories. So we can ask some of the guys on pod who have been on the hentai episode for their take. But it's like.
So what I'm getting from this though is it's not fair to compare it to anime just to other hentai.
Yeah, I think that but like, are hentai censored like this? Although apparently there is going to be an uncensored version, or according to the episode threads.
Thank God.
So that
okay.
So then
so maybe it does have a reason to exist.
So
then.
it is just hentai with more steps.
Yo, like the creators were like, man, like I got a Fitbit. My wife's been on my ass because I haven't been getting my steps in, and they're like, well, do you want to get your steps in? It's a show. It's if it's something you enjoy watching, I don't think I can knock anyone for watching it.
Yeah.
I wonder who the voice actors are in this. I want to see what else they voiced. I think that's actually what I want to see. Let's see. So the teacher. Also, it seems like they're trying to set up a harem, but we've only gotten the teacher so far. So maybe it might be. Oh,
there are a bunch more girls in the OP.
I think this might be doing like a Amagami SS or like a one room thing where there's like a different girl coming out.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
that's interesting.
I'm not going to be picking this up then.
Yeah.
So
I'm pretty discouraged.
Let's see. The main girl Kana is actually voiced by Sumire Uesaka, she's in Bang Dream. She's Angela in Carole Tuesday.
Yeah, in Carole Tuesday. She's shouts here in
Are you
Overlord
serious?
as well.
Yeah.
Wow.
She's dominating this season between Why the Hell Are You Here, Teacher? And Carole Tuesday. She's got it all.
Two of the best shows in the
like,
season, like covering the full breadth of what this season has to offer.
Can you imagine Angela, the character, reacting to like that knowledge?
Oh man.
Guess we're firing another manager.
She also voiced Dekamori in Chunibyo.
Yeah.
She's also in Overlord. Is she in Isekai Quartet as well?
Yeah, she's shouts here.
Oh,
yeah.
Well, that one I can definitely see.
Dang, yo, this girl's got it all. And she's in the Idolmaster Cinderella. So she's like the Hanakana of the season. Because she's in 4 anime.
Wow.
That's crazy. Tier Studio. Have you guys heard of Tier Studio before? TAR?
I have not.
Let's see. They've done
they
this.
did Lord of Vermilion.
Oh.
Did you watch that?
No, but it has a 5.4 on Mouse.
This is surprisingly...
That's their only other show.
This is surprisingly their highest rated show. You know what? So everyone's got to start somewhere.
Right, they've only been going up. We can't insult them for this.
This is true.
They're moving up in the world. Oh man.
They also next on the list is Bokutachi wa Benkyou ga, or We Don't Want to Study or We Can't Study, which is actually really nice because it's just like Hanayome, except they're not related to each other. It's like the same exact premise. It's like this poor dude who has a harem of girls he needs to tutor who are like all really into him, but they're not related this time. So it's like watching like an isekai version of Hanayome in a sense.
Yeah, I've only watched the first episode of this one so far, but it was actually pretty enjoyable.
Mm-hmm.
The blue-haired girl,
yes,
is my favorite of the two. She's very sweet.
She's very sweet. I like her a lot. This whatchamacallit? This one I actually do like more than Hanayome, even though I was memeing on it. Yeah, and like the main girl sounds really great. Or the blue hair girl. Although I'm really interested.
The two of them seem to be like pretty even for main girl status so far, at least.
Mm-hmm. We also get introduced to a childhood friend in episode 2.
Uh-oh.
So she's going to lose.
Yep.
It's very sad. But yeah, like I'm actually really interested in the teacher because her character design looks really cool.
Yeah, I really like the character designs in this show, actually. That was the number one thing that stood out for me. Is something about the art style and the designs. They pop really well. Mm-hmm. Like, they're very angular, like, very high contrast colors. They look surprisingly nice.
Right. And the guy kind of reminds me a little bit of The World God Only Knows. If you guys ever watched or read that.
Yeah. Kama?
Sorry?
The main character from it? Kama?
Yeah. The main character, he kind of looks like the same main character.
Is he a dating sim wizard?
He is not, but he's just like a... I know, it would be great, man. The World God Only Knows season 4 when. But yeah, like he just kind of looks the same with the prep school jacket and like the haircut and the glasses. So I guess really every character kind of looks like him, but him particularly looks really great. Man, it's sad to see. Like Mal ranks the characters and the voice actors by the number of favorites they have, and the childhood friend is last. It's poor childhood friends. Pour one out for the childhood friends.
They never get a break.
They don't.
They never study.
Well, we actually have a Can't Study universe now because also airing this season is Ao-chan Can't Study, which is also on HIDIVE. And look, I haven't watched this show yet. Have you guys?
Nope.
Nope.
I'm just going to
Alright.
read the synopsis for you guys.
Oh no.
Okay, let's hear it.
What have we done?
When Ao was in kindergarten, she smiled ear to ear as she was told her classmates how her father, a best-selling erotic author, chose her name.
Oh.
A
Right.
as in apple, and O as in orgy.
No
That day
way.
still haunts her 10 years later as she studies with a single goal in mind: to get into an elite university and achieve independence from her father once and for all. She has no youth to misspend and no time to think about boys until her classmate, King Normie Kijima, approaches her with a shocking confession of love.
I'm sorry, did you say King Normie?
Yes, King Normie.
No.
She tries to lose Kijima, but he just can't take a hint. And as her mind runs wild with dirty thoughts, she realizes her father has totally influenced her.
God.
Yeah, so I forgot. I tried to watch the first episode of this. No offense if you like it, but yeah, this is just very much not my thing.
I really believed that I had just misheard some Japanese name as you saying King Normie, but no, that's actually what he's called.
He's just King Normie.
Yeah.
No, that's not okay. You can't just call your character that.
Yes, you can. I defy you to fucking...
I'm more worried that her dad had to name her after like
Apple orgy.
eroticism. I don't know. That doesn't sit well with me. What a great dad.
Yeah, who just like looks at their newborn child and is like, I'm gonna name that after porn. Like that's yeah.
He was just
that's
trying
sus.
to, like, describe how she came about.
Oh my god. Okay, so the dad is voiced by Suda Kenjiro. I'm just gonna put in the episode channel Mal's image for him.
Let's see this.
Oh fucking hell.
The rest of the characters don't look like this at all. They look like normal anime characters. Why is he this? What is happening?
Oh man, what a time to
what
be
the-
alive.
What a dad.
Yeah, maybe
What
we'll
a-
watch
what
this
a
for
Chad.
retro just so we can meme about it. Probably not,
Look at
but
this man.
But how
Look
long
at
is this a
this
short
guy.
form too? It sounds like it'd be a short.
Yeah, it is.
anime.
It is a short.
Okay.
Oh, it's a short.
Then
Yo,
I'll-
I gotta.
We
gotta
could probably
keep
watch
watching.
this
I gotta
now.
watch. Yo,
Are we gonna make a blood oath here that all four
are
of us
we gonna make a
watch
pact
this?
here to make it through this shit?
we're going
Like,
to make. Yo, the R Anime Pact cast.
If you
Alright.
break the pact, your Discord name is getting changed to King Normie, and you can't change it back.
Yes, I want that so bad. Also, the now reviews are interesting because the first one's a 7,
hello,
Oh.
the second one's a 4,
Sen, you
the
cut out.
third one's a 1, but the last one's a 10.
Oh.
Oh my god, we've got all of our bases covered.
Yo, like this is the pact. This is the pact we're making. We don't
This
want.
show is an enigma.
At least one of us will have a spicy take on this, is what you're saying.
Yes.
Okay, so my internet died for a minute. What's the pact?
We all have to watch this show for retro, and if you don't finish it by the time we record, then your Discord name is getting changed to King Normie, and you can't change it back.
Forever.
Okay, yeah, 100%
You
now.
will forever be known as King Normie. I might just watch
shit. Well,
all
now
of
I have
them.
to decide whether I want to not watch it so that I can be
Right?
King Normie.
I might
That's
just
a
like
legit decision
If you
there.
want to be King Normie, you still can. If you want to be King Normie, then you can change yourself to that preemptively, and then we'll change you to Apple Orgy.
yeah, wait, yes. Okay. All right. We've sworn on this, on our waifus, that we are going to make this pact. All right.
Yep.
All right.
So, after that, we have Sewayaki Kitsune no Senko-san, which is about a fox girl, and it's by Doga Kobo this season.
All right. This one I started, and I hate it.
Thanks.
So, all right. So, like, I've always feel like with shows that just exist to pander to people, there should still at some point be a line beyond which, like, if the show crosses this line, if it panders too hard, then even the people it's targeting should realize how ridiculous it is. And then a show like this comes along and makes me doubt the entire concept of that thesis, because this show panders harder than any I've ever seen before, and it's like it's definitely in the top 10 most watched on our anime this season. So if you guys aren't familiar with this, it's about like some like office drone young man, whatever, who's so like fed up with his shitty job and his boring, unfulfilling life that the negative energy from him is like corrupting the world around him. So the gods send this lolly fox girl to go, like literally in the show's own words, pamper him however possible.
Oh.
And like, which is,
Go on.
and that's stupid enough as a start until you get to the part where he like asks the one thing that he wants from her that she can do to pamper him is let him stroke her tail, and then she like blushes and moans, and by the time he's done she's like blushing and sweaty, and it's so uncomfortable. And then also the best part, the part that like really pushed me to realize no, there is no line that's too hard pandering for people to cross. The after credit scene is like a first person perspective, like POV shot of someone like walking in the door and her like handing them a cup of tea, and then just like sitting there with her head in her hands with a smile on her face watching us, like the tea is lifted up to the camera and she talks to the viewer about how hard your day has been and how she'll pamper you from now on.
Sinrus, this sounds like this your kind of show.
I hate it. I hate it.
Yikes.
I hate it so much. It makes me feel so dirty to watch it.
So this is not one of those anime where when your friends ask like, oh, like, you know, I'm trying to get into anime. What's a show I should watch? This isn't going to be one of them.
No, I think we should be driving people away from the medium. Anime was a mistake, and this is where we should start them off.
I mean, I get it. Like, I get why the concept appeals to people. But the point at which watching a show like this is how you choose to spend, like, the little free time that the target audience for this show has is, like, crossing a line that is so depressing to me. Like, if you're this upset with your life, do literally anything else with it than watch this show. I promise it'll get better.
Wait, this is my favorite take. Wait, this is actually my favorite take.
Senryuu's just slaying everyone watching this show.
Yo,
I
you know
really
there's a
don't want to
list-
be mean because I understand that feeling. I've really been there. This is not the answer.
Oh man, I just really hope there's like a listener out there who's like, Wow, Senryu, you've just like slain my favorite anime. I will never forgive you. I just wanted a fox girl to hand me tea.
No, I think better is if Senryu really saved someone this way. Like, seek like help, not Sewayaki Kitsune is what we're
Seek help, not fox girls.
seek help.
Fox girls
that should
don't
be our
help.
anime podcast slogan. Seek help, not fox girls.
I have nothing else to say. Can we move on?
Fox girls don't help people.
The
Therapy
next show
helps people.
is a good one. Can we talk about a good show instead?
Yeah,
Yeah,
Senryu
yeah,
Shoujo.
the next one is good.
This one is
Girl.
good.
Which is also on HIDIVE, which is actually a fantastic show. Oh my goodness. I cannot, like, of the shorts this season, this is by far my favorite. And it's actually probably one of my top,
Same.
like, 4 anime of the season.
Oh,
I don't
okay.
think it's top 4 for me, but it's definitely like my favorite of the shorts. I liked it quite a bit. It's just a nice, sweet show. Like, I like the characters in it. It seemed like I'm sure I'm going to enjoy it.
It's nice to get Hanakana. For all the proliferation Hanakana had, like, a couple years ago, I feel like we don't hear Hanakana as much anymore.
Yeah, I don't know. She like has a family now, doesn't she?
Yeah,
does
she's done
she?
a fair share of stuff recently.
I don't
Gotcha.
actually know if that's true because I don't really follow like voice actors that closely, but I feel like I remember hearing something about that. So
Gotcha.
I don't know. Maybe I'm completely wrong again.
She's been in a few shows recently, though. And she's still in some stuff.
She's just not in, like, the Ada season she used to be in.
Oh, yeah, no.
Which is crazy. Like, you just be like, go through 2 days worth of airings and be like, hearing Hanakana in every single one of them.
This is true.
But yeah, like,
That's fine.
Hanakana's really good in this show, but actually the best character is the boy.
Yeah, 100%.
yeah.
He's great.
The guy's great. He's hilarious.
He's so cute.
Their date was really fun in the amusement park
Yeah.
as well. Oh my gosh. It's just such a cute, sweet, wholesome short. It's kind of what I wanted Takagi-san to be like. Because I wanted Takagi-san, like, I really liked the manga for Takagi-san, and I kind of wanted it to be a short. And, like, but that was a full-length anime. But now watching this, I was like, man, like, Takagi really could have, like, hit a sweet spot if it was a short. Just, like, with these little one-offs, little stories that they have here and there. And as a poetry geek, like, I really love the Senryu that they write. And Hanakana does a wonderful job of delivering them.
All she does is just, like, make cute noises and eventually sometimes read a poem, and that's all I need in life.
Yeah, it's
Shoutouts to the subbers who actually translate all of the poems into haiku format.
Yeah, that's crazy. I don't know how
Right.
they... Yeah.
And it seems like they're preserving like enough of the meaning of the conversations. Like it doesn't feel like I'm losing stuff in those, which is really surprising.
Right.
Yeah, really hard to do.
Because, like, translating
Yeah.
poems is
Translating
really tough.
poetry is a nightmare.
Let
Yeah.
alone Japanese poetry.
Oh, yeah.
With a whole bunch of puns and stuff.
All the puns and all, like, the syllabic nuance. Like, trying to, like, if you've seen
575.
Chihayafuru, like, trying to translate the Hyakunin Ogura Ishu, it's like,
Yeah, Chihayafuru translations don't even try.
they don't try. They're just like, this is the general meaning of the poem. We're not going to even try to, like, adhere to the syllable stuff. Like, good luck. But yeah.
Yeah, no, people who translate like comedy and especially like puns and like linguistic comedy are the fucking like unsung heroes of the planet. Like,
Yes. Without, like, 17,000 translators' notes either.
yeah.
I also like how all the discussion threads for it, people are just replying in Senryu as well.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
All the
awesome.
comments
I
are
should
in
check those
Senryu.
out.
Yeah, it's a lot of
that's
fun.
the-
Really
That's
cool,
cool.
actually.
It's a really fun community that's popped up around it. So yeah, I really like Senryu Shoujo.
This one really surprised me.
If you haven't seen it and you just want to watch, like, wholesome, sweet, somewhat aggressive Hanakana, like, romantically, when she, like, I love that moment where she gets the, like, the couple size soda, and the guy's
Yeah.
like, oh,
Yeah.
that's the only drink size they had? Huh, okay. And, like, right behind him are all the sizes that they had that isn't that.
Yeah, it's kind of neat to have like a little romantic show where one of the characters is actively being forward from the beginning.
Yeah,
Right.
it's refreshing.
Like, yeah, that's not a thing you see every day, and it's not huge, but it's nice.
Uh-huh. So, yeah, it's only, like, you know, as we said, like 10, 11 minutes per week. So definitely check it out when you can. And after that, we also have another cute punny show in Hitoribocchi no Marumaru. So I'm watching this
There's
as
one more
anyone
word
else.
on that.
Ooh.
Seikatsu.
Yes.
Yeah, I've only seen the
Seikatsu.
first episode of this one so far, but it was nice.
Yeah, the show is surprising me by how much I like it.
Yeah. It's surprising. I thought like because of the initial premise, it would be really dumb because she's like, oh, like I made a promise with my childhood friend to be friends with everyone in my class. I was like, of all the premises that are out there, that's one of them.
It's certainly an anime that is airing in this season.
Yes, but like it's really cute.
But it's a good one too.
Yeah, it's really cute. Like I loved how in the first episode she's like, man, don't let me be in class 1 because that's gonna be the class with the most
biggest
people
one.
in it. And then
I
she
liked her 4 backup plans to
Oh,
avoid
yeah.
having to fulfill the promise. First one is just get rid of middle school.
Oh my God, that one's amazing. Oh, that might be the the entire section of her with like her plans in her notebook still might be the funniest thing in the show so far.
I think that's probably true.
That was a great sequence.
And the sign was great too, and just how everyone was just like, because I thought they were gonna be like, oh, what kind of weirdo is doing this? They're like, oh wow, this is gonna be a fun class. Like, let's all get along. Hey, you're
Yeah.
shy, I'm shy too. Let's be friends. And meanwhile, she's like, what have
no.
I done?
I disagree with you, team. The funniest part in the show so far was when she's walking through the class for the first time, and she hears one of the girls say like, "Oh, I'm kind of shy," and she says, "Oh, that girl is shy like me. I shouldn't approach her." And then another girl like runs by like shouting something loudly, and she goes, "Oh, that girl isn't shy, unlike me. I shouldn't approach her."
Yeah, that was good.
Yeah. Oh man. I also like how her name is a pun. I have a thing for titles, and so like Hitoribocchi literally means alone.
Oh, I
So-
didn't know that. That's cool.
I knew that because of
the Bakemonogatari ED.
Yep.
Yeah. Whenever I see this, I think of like Hitoribocchi from
Yes,
the.
I'm glad I'm not the only one.
Yeah, and I was like, oh, okay. I'm not gonna lie, that was on my mind as I picked the show up.
Cool.
Yes. So yeah, so it's a good pun. Let's see what. I was thinking like the color palette for this kind of looked familiar, like how bright and shiny it was. But the studio also did Harukano Receive, and they also
I did
did
not watch that one.
a show called Shumatsu Nani Shimetsu. Oh, that's the one with like the 5 questions in the title that like some people really liked.
Oh yeah, that one. Yeah, I liked that one.
World End.
Yeah,
It was-
yeah. Where will you be when
that's-
the world ends? Yeah.
I actually really like that show. That's one of those shows that is an example of how you can write a show where you fuck a lot up, but then still have a really strong emotional core that's good enough to get me to still love it.
Interesting.
Yeah, I stand that show just for like how freaking unique and cool it is in a lot of ways,
Uh-huh. Yeah.
and it made me feel things.
Man, Suka, yeah. I should
Yeah.
watch this. I've been recommended this a lot.
Yeah, Tay, I think you in particular would probably like it. Like, I think you'll probably have a similar take to me, where there'll be some stuff where you're like, that was not so great, but I think you'll like it overall.
I've had a couple of people tag me in it, and those were the same people who were in an episode discussion thread for School Live.
Mm-hmm.
And they're all like, oh, you'll really like this. So I have an inkling of what's to come, which is, of course, that'll be a very straightforward, wholesome show.
You'll be the happiest girl in the world.
So, Tay,
Yes.
knowing as you do that I am the Type Moon Wizard, do you have any guess as to what my favorite aspect of Hitoribocchi is?
What your favorite aspect of Hitoribocchi is? No.
Well, one of the hallmarks of Type Moon works is that any Western character has an absurd name.
Oh yes, the Nasu names.
The Nasu names. And there's quite the Nasu name in this show. The foreigner student in their class is named Sotka Lucky Thar.
Is that revealed in the first episode? Because I don't remember
No,
that.
it's not until
It's on
later.
Malvo.
She just like walks
Okay,
past.
that's
like, oh,
great.
a foreigner.
It's hilarious.
That's amazing.
Yes. Oh, I know. Because they're doing in FGO JP. They're doing the case files event, and like all these people have like crazy like Western names.
Yeah, they're absurd.
And
They're
now-
so
Hey,
good.
Senryu, I need you to watch Taboo Tattoo for me, because I need someone else to be on that train, and they have all the good Western names, from like Bluesy Floozy to Blood Blackstone. Like, come on.
Floozy.
No. But see, that's different, because those names are just like stupid because they're just like not names. They're just words.
Okay.
The type moon names are like clearly just a Japanese person's idea of what an English name sounds like, and it's not at all accurate.
Kenneth Archibald L. Malloy the second.
Yeah, I love
At
him.
least Archibald is actually a name. There's one of the masters in Fate Strange Fake is named Basdelot Cordelian.
Oh, that's amazing. Ooh. I need to read Strange Fake. I'll probably like
Yeah,
that.
you do. Strange Fake is probably the best Fate they've ever made.
Oh, really?
that's-
Okay.
Okay.
It's still like super early game in it, but
Fate
it definitely
Apocrypha has
the
something to
potential.
say to you. That is a joke. Do not watch Fate Apocrypha. Oh, man. So, that being said, we do have a couple of continuing anime as well for this season. So the first one we have up is Dororo, which is not related to Durarara. Which, one might be confused. You might think like, oh, Dororo might be a prequel to Durarara because, it's got a different vowel in it. It sounds vaguely similar.
Maybe it is a prequel to Dororo.
We actually
I mean, it
haven't
could be.
established that it's not a prequel to Durarara.
Okay, so I mean, if Dororo is like literally supposed to occur in Japan, and Dororo is technically like a contemporary, like you could see it, kind of.
See it? Yeah.
I can make an argument for it. But no. So yeah, just wanted to give like a quick shout to the leftover Dororo, which also is a contender for anime of the season for me. Because damn, this show is good. Is most of what I want to say.
Yeah, Dororo has its ups and downs for me, where I feel like a lot of the like episodic stories are not very good at all, but all of the like main plot episodes are extremely good.
And
I've been enjoying the episodic stories personally, but yeah, the main plot episodes are definitely where it's at for this show.
And next
I'm
up,
not nearly caught up enough on this to have an opinion.
yeah.
I'm a little bit
Yeah,
behind
I'll
now,
ca-
but yeah.
I'll catch up before.
Have you
the
gotten
end.
to like the mid-season finale?
No, I haven't literally at like episode 7.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
I've hit the mid-season finale,
climax
which
is really, really good.
it's really good, and it confirmed for me because this was something we were discussing too, where we were like, "Is it gonna like there were?" I don't want to spoil it for people who haven't started it yet, but we were kind of talking about like, is it gonna go a certain direction that we thought would be really cool, and we were like, no way it would actually like explore those questions, and then it 100% did.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Also, the
watched-
fact that the Dororo manga is the primary inspiration for Sekiro: Shadows Die Twice, the critically
seriously?
acclaimed
Oh,
new
okay.
video game. Yeah.
Yes.
Which is also good. Sekiro
Which is also very good.
Yeah.
But there are so many like elements that are clearly parallel to each other, and having like played through Sekiro since the show started, now like knowing where Sekiro goes, it makes me really curious like how these characters are going to mirror those ones.
Oh, that's super interesting.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you for that insight. That's cool, because, like, I've been enjoying them in parallel and seeing, like, yeah. Oh, that's
Yeah.
neat.
I have
That's
a
awesome.
question then. I'm only on like episode 2 of Dororo. How many times do shadows die in this one?
There have been the shadows at like the wall near the mid-season. Those count as shadows, right?
Do they? Yeah. So probably
Those are-
a lot
those
of
are like
shadows
shadows. Yeah,
probably
a lot
die
of
more than
shadows
twice
die.
if we're counting them.
Sounds good. That was just the question that was on my mind.
Yeah, so if you
Okay.
enjoy Sekiro and you felt like shadows dying twice wasn't enough, watch Dororo, apparently.
Shadows were so nice we had to kill him more than twice. Next up, is this the work of an enemy stand? At the very least, it's JoJo, and JoJo is continuing on.
You just presented that like a Nintendo Direct announcer. Next
been
up,
working on it.
click. Is this the work of an enemy stand? It's JoJo's
It's
Bizarre
more likely
Adventure.
than you think.
Like the exact tone that they use for presenting everything. That like weird stilted monotone.
I was trying to go for like the meme of the dude with like the anime meme with the butterfly and being like, "Is this a butterfly?"
Oh, that's good too.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm glad me and Nintendo Direct are also channeling the same energy. I have actually been forced to watch some Nintendo Direct things, so I think that's probably where I've subconsciously picked it up.
Yeah, but you know,
I do
JoJo
like
good.
that butterfly meme energy is now just a way people talk.
Yeah.
Is this a butterfly meme reference?
But yeah, no.
But
so
yes.
what's everyone's thoughts on the current season of JoJo?
It's JoJo. Like,
Yeah, it sure
if you're
is
watching
JoJo.
this far, you probably like the franchise a lot if you made it to part 5.
Yeah.
But personally, for me, I feel like it's still a bit of a step down. I know it's a bit of a step down from part 4 for me. Like,
Yeah,
I think
same.
the main the main group of characters, they don't play off of each other as well as the main characters in part 4 did. But it's JoJo. Like, I still like it a lot. So
Yeah.
I'm excited for the finale of it.
I
Yeah.
definitely came into the anime for this one being like, oh, part 5 is the worst part. Like, I don't really like this one. And then through watching the anime, while my opinion on that hasn't really changed, it has reminded me that there are a lot of really cool moments in it. So it has upped my appreciation for the part, even if I still do think that it's probably the worst one.
Pretty much same. I actually like part 5 a bit more than part 3, but it is one of the like lower tier parts for me.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm still enjoying it more in animation than I did in the manga, and just if you're not the biggest fan of it, keep watching through. The best part is next. Which I know is a controversial statement, but
the
5
best
years.
fight is the next one, isn't it?
oh no, I meant that part 6 is best, but also yeah, we've got good fights coming.
Yes. Where we are now, the next fight up is the best one in the part.
Ooh, okay. Well, next up, we also have. Some people might say the best part, but it's the part that everyone's been looking forward to, and that is Season 3, Part 2 of Attack on Titan, Shingeki no Kyojin.
Yes.
And this time, look, if you've gotten this far into our anime podcast, and you have not seen the first 2 seasons and the first core of Attack on Titan, you probably should, because it's an entertaining popcorn watch.
It's only like one of the most popular anime.
Yeah, only
Yeah,
one
in
of
the
the most
West.
popular, of all time. But we are finally back to where it all started in season 1.
Shit's actually happening.
Shit's happening. Shit's gonna go down. We might even go to the basement. Who knows?
Wait,
the
this show
basement
has
is
a plot?
at the very least. The basement
it's
is in
in
the
play.
same area as
Yeah.
everyone else.
Yeah, like, I've had kind of an up and down relationship with this series. It's like, but I think the point that I'd settled at is that the first few episodes of Attack on Titan are awesome, and then, like, immediately after the first arc, it all went way downhill and was pretty mediocre for a long time, and then the end of Season 3, Part 1 finally, like, ramped back up to the same level that the very beginning of the show was at. And now that we are there, and the new half season is beginning, and shit's happening, I'm so hyped. I think that we are finally going to see the stuff that everybody has wanted to see since the show started airing, like, a million years ago.
Yes.
Yep.
Also,
I'm hyped for it.
yeah, I'm hyped for it. Also, I just wanted to note that while Shadows might die twice at the bottom of your screen, you have 17 writers who is appearing twice. 17
Oh damn, been called out. Yeah,
Just
my
wanted to make
internet
sure
just like screwed
you're
up. I don't
okay.
even know what's up with this.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm back now. But yeah. Oh no, there we go. Now I'm just
Oh,
here
the
once.
second shadow died.
Death
okay.
number 1.
17, you can't die any more times. You can only die twice.
Shit. Well, Owl is counting. Anyway, so yeah, no, I'm enjoying Attack on Titan. I really, so this is getting to the end of where I'm, source follower, and I personally really like this section.
Yes.
I, like, binged up and caught up on the source, like, forever ago when this was about as far as it had got. So yeah, we're about to get into new stuff for me, and I like this coming section, so it should be fun.
How about you, Mines? What are your thoughts on it?
Yeah, Attack on Titan was one of those shows that it didn't really hit its stride for me until like the middle of the second season, when it became more about like the mystery part of it and not really just Titans everywhere. But I'm a anime only. I don't really know. I don't know where this is going.
Ooh.
I'm hyped for where it's going. Literally everyone that's read the manga has praised this part, so it has a lot to live up to for me. But after the first episode, I don't doubt that it'll be bad at all. I'm pretty sure I'm going to like it a lot.
It's one of those things too for me where, like, as a source reader, I just want to like yell things at people, but I can't. And I'm just like it's. Oh my gosh, like I'm just like, I want this so bad. But also, it's been like 2 years since this stuff happened in the manga, so I don't remember the specific of things. So I'm like watching it with my roommate like week to week, and like he's watching it for the first time. I'm watching it and I'm like, oh, I don't remember. Oh yeah, now I remember.
Like
That's a
similar
weird
experience
feeling.
here. It's all fuzzy enough for me that it's like half a new experience again. And it's great seeing it in animation. So
Yeah.
Like the first episode, my roommate was like, isn't it gonna suck for the guy who like taps on the wall and actually finds them?
Yes.
And then I was like,
it was like a no-name character.
yo, and then Mikasa out of nowhere. Oh my, no, it was Levi. It was Levi.
I thought it was
Levi.
Mikasa at first.
Yeah,
actually,
yeah.
But
Yo, all that came through in my head when that happened was he aimed for the head.
yeah.
You know, no one's gonna be able to tell him he should have aimed for the head.
Yeah, it happened so fast. I like blinked and almost missed it.
It looked great.
Right.
Oh my gosh, like
Yeah.
it's starting off really hot too. Like there's no like exposition-y things. Like I thought they might be in the forest for a little while longer, but no, they just went right into it. Man.
Yeah, after he like hit Rainer through the head, and then you just see all the Titans sort of on the outsides of the wall, and everyone on the wall is just like, oh shit. I was like, oh shit,
Yeah.
let's go. We're ready to see some Attack on Titan.
Yo,
Yeah,
I'm-
This is going to
Monkey
be
Man.
hard to wait weekly
Right?
without reading ahead in the manga for.
like also like Armin just stepping up and being the real MVP.
I know, fine.
Yo,
finally.
talk about
Shout
like
out to
character
Armin.
development too for like Armin. Like imagining like watching it from season 1 and just like how much he's changed.
Yeah. Armin, Eren, and Levi have all gotten character development now. And I'm giving a real hard side eye at Mikasa. She's the only one left.
I mean, there's nothing wrong with a static character.
Be interesting, Mikasa.
I love
Everyone
Mikasa.
else
She's
has
got a
outgrown you.
bajillion
You
now
take that
favorites.
back. I love Mikasa. But yeah, anyway, she's great. I don't know what Senryu is talking about. But yeah, it's a lot of fun. I'm really excited. This is also like with One Punch Man, it's kind of nice watching it without all like the crazy, even casual hype around it, where it's just like you can just really watch and enjoy it for like being a fun
Yeah.
hype show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Without worrying about like, oh, like what happens now that it's like super big in the West, blah blah blah. Like you don't have to worry about the like real world consequences. You can just watch it and enjoy it.
The series has cooled off enough that it's just a good show.
Yes.
Yeah.
That was a nice pun.
Ooh, that was that was a pun of Titanic proportions. Yeah. And I just wanted to give a shout out. Actually, what's the opposite of a shout out? I want to give a warning to anyone who might want to watch Diamond of the Ace of Diamond season 2. Don't. It's bad. It's really bad. Please do not watch it. I think it's actually season 3. It's like part 2, season 3. It's like how like the second Rambo is called Rambo 2 First Blood. Yeah, Ace of Diamond continues to be god awful. Probably the worst sports anime I've ever seen. Please do not watch it. Please do not watch it. But
Cool.
now that you have that warning, please do continue to listen to us. And thank you so much for listening all the way to another edition of our Impressions series for spring 2019. Thank you again to 17 Senryu. And of course, thank you for our guest Minds. Hope you enjoyed being on the spring anime portion of our
Again.
podcast again.
Again, it was thanks for having me.
Yeah.
We'll see you in June, July, question mark.
Sometime.
Sometime. Eventually.
Yeah.
Someday in the summer. Unless we get stuck in an endless 8.
Look forward to
Oh,
our
no.
takes on
Yeah.
Aochan.
Enjoy Aochan, guys.
Yeah, enjoy Oucho.
Yeah, now we
that.
have to do it. Now we've got to get there for fucking
Now we gotta
retro.
watch it for our pact. Yeah. Oh man.
No, I'm just gonna be King Normie, guys. It's okay.
Well, if you want to be our King Normie, you can always subscribe to the podcast at YouTube. You can follow us on our channel, and you can also follow us at Tokyo Podfathers. Thank you again to HIDIVE and Sentai Filmworks for promoting and sponsoring this episode. Again, you can always sign on to HIDIVE and get half off your first month of HD unlimited anime, including Aochan, for all things, and Senryu Girl as well. So that's $2.49 for your first month of subscribing to HIDIVE. The code is below. At one point, I had it memorized, but it's been so long since I did the promo that I've forgotten it's Inris. I know it's a little bit of a boner.
You whipped it out when we were talking to the people at the HIDIVE booth. You just recited the entire 12 character code from memory, and the guy was like, "Yeah, okay, we'll give you whatever you want. Sponsorship, it's done." Yeah.
I want to say it's TAP 5384438. But we'll see. It's in the description below if that doesn't work. They are working also on giving us a shorter promo code to give out, so be on the lookout for that. Mm-hmm. And yeah, subscribe to us on Spotify, on iTunes, wherever you listen to podcasts. And until next time, stay tuned. Thanks, everyone.
Nice.
Broadcast is done. Good job, everyone.